it's Marines. Did you have an AP for that?
No, it's just a normal ass class, which means you really take the L if you're not good.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be honors, but it's not. Well, I thought it was going to be honors.
I didn't.
It's a great class, though. I recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all are really talkative. I don't know if that's right.
I know, that's why I was so excited. I was like, yes.
Maybe I don't know, maybe because you guys are friends. That's why. Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you guys have any like particular topics you want to talk about, or do you want me to just like start asking questions?
You start, and then
If we have like a subject, we could tail off.
yeah.
Okay. Well, on that point of like talking to each other, do you think that is it like as friends, do you put a filter on like how you talk to each other, or does it just like come out?
With her specifically, no. Like there's a lot of things that I've said that are like, it's always like, okay, like this is gonna be bad, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But like for me personally, I don't like to use the word code switching because it's like such a TikTok term now, but like I definitely do that around other people where I'm like, this person, I gotta tell this kind of story. That's because these people, I'm not gonna curse, but these people, they're going around, they're spreading everyone's business. So that's what.
Are you
like,
talking about Francis Parker?
Yeah, Francis Parker. Like, people get around, they spread your business. That's why I can't be filterless with anybody else.
Yeah.
You gotta keep your loyalty.
Yeah, Maggie's the one person I can say anything to, speak my mind, and
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it's against her. Sometimes I'll say something that's against her, calling her out on something. And
Yeah.
work it out real quick.
That's like the big, like a lot of people ask like why we're friends for so long, or like they try and talk about the duo and stuff. And I feel like people are afraid to tell their friends like, dude, you kind of screwed that up, or like,
Exactly.
I don't agree. Like, you gotta keep it real. Because the more times you do that, the less hard it will
There's a lot more
get.
tension, and
Yeah.
it gets built up, and then there's a big argument.
And then they're like, oh my god, you know, I've been wanting to say this the whole time. It's like, well, then why didn't you say it?
Why didn't you say it earlier?
Why didn't you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Do you
Is
have
it-
someone like that?
Not really. Kind of like, I kind of am like that with my brother, but he's 9, so it's not. It's not the same.
Is he gonna go to Parker?
Probably not, but maybe.
Maybe.
Do you have to build that skill? Like, is that something that you think comes with just having chemistry with someone? Because what I'm afraid of is like, if I just start like speaking my mind, that someone's just gonna like become disinterested in me or like not like me.
I think you definitely have to build it up to a point where you're confident in yourself. Like, our first year of our friendship, we were not this close.
The softball team.
We actually became friends because of T3 freshman year softball team. We both were on that.
Varsity softball.
We were not varsity level, that's for sure. Nowadays, I can talk to anyone and sort of express my own personality and my own like quirkiness, even though it's a corny term. And I'm confident in myself, and I don't really care how they portray me. But definitely a few years ago, I was very filtered and worried about what I say to someone because they might think, oh, she's weird, or why is she saying that?
Yeah.
I think the big thing, especially going into college, that people kind of have to accept about like making friends and stuff is like, you have to be willing that the other person isn't gonna be just like you. Like, everyone gets mad when someone doesn't like the same things they like, or like has a different opinion. And there's some things which I personally can't, like, if someone disagrees in a specific area of politics, for example, not like in politics in general, but like specific areas, then yeah, we might not be friends because it's like a core belief or whatever. But like, if my friend has a different belief in music, then I'm just not going to play certain kinds of music around them. Like, that's the thing. People are kind of afraid, I think. And I was definitely afraid for probably up until my junior year of expressing a different opinion to people. But then you get to a certain point where you're like, if I am faking it, then they don't actually know me. And then when we do become friends, it's uncomfortable because you always wonder, like, why is it this friendship that's not really growing and building on itself as others. And it's because, like, bro, you weren't real in the beginning.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't start
Yeah.
fake and then switch up and be like, okay, now this is the real me, because they're gonna be thrown off.
yeah. But
Yeah,
there's
for
definitely
sure.
subjects you have to, like, work your way into.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Maggie, could you like pull the door close a little because
Yes.
it's kind of loud.
There we go.
Unless it's not closable.
Is it the door stopper?
No.
Oh, okay, is it just like that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's just like that.
Yeah, I feel like for the friendships that I have right now, like a few of them I've known them for like a long time, and I've definitely like put like somewhat of a false version of myself before, probably just like partially from being shy and partially from like not wanting to upset people with like a different opinion and stuff. And so now it's like it's weird trying to like be authentic.
Yeah, it's definitely a pain to, like, go back to those relationships and, like, be like, okay, actually, I'm like this, though.
Yeah.
Because I have a couple of those where I was like, wait, this person thinks I'm totally this. And it's hard because they'll kind of come to you with that attitude. And especially when you do finally start kind of building up the pieces, you're going to lose some people. Like, we've lost many people.
R.I.P. R.I.P. to our,
Yeah.
all our old friends.
Yeah, because you realize, like, you just gotta let some people go. There's no hate.
Or
There's
they
no
let us
despair.
go.
Yeah,
They don't- then
there
we-
were some
yeah.
chicks who they really did
They-
not
they-
want us
we-
around.
Or like we were kind of a fake version of ourselves, and once we sort of blossomed into who we were, they realized they didn't want to be friends with us, which is fine, but a little sad because we lost a lot of people that
Yeah.
we thought were our friends, and then once you take away that sort of fake version of yourself and become the real you, all of a sudden they don't like you.
Mhm.
And they think you're kind of weird and off-putting.
Yeah, now they're silenced.
Can you explain the process of what that's like people disliking you? Because it's not like outright hate, right? It's just like,
Yeah, it's mostly just distaste.
I think with like with chicks, like especially, they are like, it gets so downright dirty. Like, you will have to, if you're having beef, maybe not, I haven't had like true beef with a girl at like what, 18 years old, but if you're younger than that, like any other high school year,
16.
yeah,
That's
you
the
will be
year.
getting scrappy. Like, you'll be in the pit, like
Yeah.
you'll see screenshots from different group chats calling out your name, dragging through the mud. You'll be called chopped a couple times. Like, you
Yeah.
have to woman up a little.
It's hard
Take it on the
because
chin.
it's hard because a lot of times when you get into an argument with a friend, who sort of like the end of the friendship, they'll use your own insecurities against you,
Mm-hmm, for
and
sure.
that's when it gets like kind of tense and kind of like distasteful because they're saying things that you told them when you trusted them, and then now that they don't like you anymore, now they're using it against you, and it doesn't feel good. But at some point, you just have to learn to like not care. Like, that's one
Yeah.
thing Maggie and I decided to do all of high school is just learn to not care about what other people think,
yeah.
and that really helped out.
for
'Cause we
sure.
have way less anxiety, way less stress about social situations now.
And people will come towards you naturally if you are that way.
Yeah, because they'll think you're an interesting person,
Mhm.
and if you're quiet and to yourself, a lot of times it's harder to make friends because they don't see you as an interesting person.
Yeah.
I noticed that for me, when I try to apply the concept of not caring this year, I started like trying to appear like cool or like nonchalant.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't work though, because you have to actually not care though. Like if you,
Yeah, it's
That's
hard.
and I
Which-
mean, me and Lauren are totally different
We're
on
very
that.
different.
Like, a lot of people don't realize, but we're like two totally different girls. Like, I have like I had like super crazy social anxiety for up until I would say my late sophomore year, which I feel like a lot of people don't realize that about me because I like seem really
Definitely.
outgoing, and Lauren doesn't have that at all.
Would you consider yourself an introvert?
I'm a total introvert. I hang out with myself unless I really want to see somebody or I have an event pre-planned with a person, like we made it together. I will always hang out with myself.
That's one difference.
that's interesting.
Introvert, and then I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and it works really well. And a lot of people will be like, Maggie's not an introvert.
No,
Like when I see her, she's loud, she's excited.
Yeah.
She's,
Yeah.
She's at the parties.
But girl, as soon as I get home from that party, it's lockdown. I'm in bed. I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping for the next 12 hours. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
Versus you like leave the party, you're like not done, or like you get energized?
Oh, I'm never done.
Yeah,
I go out 5-6 times a week. I'm always out. If I don't have a planned event for every single day of the week, I feel like I wasted my day. And it's kind of bad because like I go off campus every single day of the week and I have it scheduled by Monday who I'm going off with every day. I go out. I stay in on Sunday nights and Monday nights. Every other day of the week, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out hanging out with people.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing things, getting things done. I don't get home until like 9-ish p.m. every night. Not because I'm doing anything important, but I'm just socializing, and that's, I don't know, not a good thing, but definitely
No,
different.
it's like I do the same thing. Like, I'm not home. It's like literally, and the other thing is she's way more scheduled than I am. I'm super like spontaneous, and if there's an event planned, I need a plan on the day. But like if someone told me, okay, Maggie, like tomorrow let's go, you know,
to the mall,
I'll be like, okay, let's do it, because I keep my schedule so open, which is the difference. You gotta book her.
You gotta book me, because like you say, oh, you want to hang Friday, I say, okay, maybe in a month.
Yeah, like legit though, legit.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and then people
like,
think I have a
ridiculous.
big ego, but
They just
I
know
don't.
her.
I don't try to have a big ego. I like to schedule things,
Yeah, for sure.
but I don't keep a planner. That's something I need to work
A
on.
planner.
Do you have a planner?
I do have a planner.
Oh, I need it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have a planner. I'm
Definitely.
super messy.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think the difference is between like extroversion being like liking socializing versus like not caring and like being able to be yourself? Because I had this like misconception that introversion is like not being yourself and extroversion is being yourself, but it's actually like not the same like thing.
It's a really good topic. Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to being an introvert, the problem is American society in specific doesn't like introverts. First of all, it's not understood very well. They don't understand that it means that you need more time alone and you gain energy by being alone versus gaining energy with other people.
Yeah, they almost say it's like bad to be an introvert.
Yeah.
And you're just like to yourself, and it's not
It's-
ideal. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
oh, you want to be an extrovert. It's not like that.
I've seen people, like especially some of my younger friends, we talk a lot about like developing your own personal style and developing like what you're interested in and things like that. And I could have never developed who I am without being introverted, because in spending so much time with myself and going out, like I live really close to Hillcrest. So I'll walk into Hillcrest and I'll walk for hours.
By
And-
yourself.
Yeah, by myself. And that's where I've kind of found, I'll go on whatever platform somewhere. I'll find a song, I'll listen to the whole album. That's how you find a shit ton of music. If you're interested, like you listen to the whole album. If you like the artist, you listen to another album, whatever. And it's that time by yourself where nobody's telling you what to do, that you find out what you genuinely like. And people are so afraid to copy other people.
You
But,
can
like,
copy people.
Literally, like
That's where you find good style.
it's
Low key,
the
low key.
funniest thing, because like literally from my art history class, we're learning about how like those people, these Michelangelo are like, let's bring back the Renaissance when everything was unique. That was not unique at all, bruh. They were copying based off of the Bible. They're copying based off of, you know, Greek and Roman stuff. That none of it is original. So like this idea of originality and being like super nonchalant, being this like person who's never existed before, doesn't exist. But the thing is, the more you copy, if you copy like 1 million things, at a certain point, you do become original without even realizing it, because you're such a mix of like random crap. Like for me personally, like I grew up listening to K-pop. Like this, I'm gonna just let it all out on here. I loved K-pop. I was
out.
a
Let the
huge,
people know Maggie loves
huge
K-pop.
BTS fan. I am a huge BTS fan. If they come, I will pay $1,000 for a concert ticket. But growing up liking K-pop genuinely gets you into all these different subcultures. And I like K-pop, and then I like Blade, then I like, I don't know, freaking Al Green, whatever. And if you mix all this crap together, you get something new.
Yeah.
Then
And that's
it
how you
comes
become
out.
unique in your own person.
And that's why being an introvert you can still do that and you can still find yourself. And being an extrovert, you can find it, I feel like, in other people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. I don't know. And a lot of people also will close themselves off. They'll be like, I'm an introvert, like, and sort of like look down on themselves because of that. And it's not a bad thing at all.
It's not bad.
Like, especially after becoming so close to Maggie, I've learned that. Because I used to sort of, no like shade or hate, but like I just thought sort of similarly, like introverts, like they're not going to their full potential. They're choosing to stay in the box. And that's not the truth at all. And it's okay to be an introvert, and half my friends are introverts.
Yeah.
And they're awesome.
And the thing is, there's nothing worse than somebody who's an introvert who forces themselves to be an extrovert, because you can tell their social battery is done.
You can tell they want to go home.
And there's no hate. Like, I love those people, but like if your social battery's done, people like you so much more if it's not about people liking you, but you personally will be happier if you respect yourself. Like our best friend Brianna, she's a total advocate of that, where we get her to go out with us for like 2 hours. She says, I'm done, I'm taking a nap. And it's so chill because
we drive her home, she takes a nap, and we're done, and it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's just open about it. She's like, guys, I can't handle being out, because Fridays we stay out from as soon as school gets out. We're out until midnight.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Probably every single time.
Yeah, and so she can't do that, but she likes to join. So she'll join for a few hours. Say, okay, guys, I'm going to bed.
And that's totally chill.
That.
Yeah. And we don't like look down at her and be like, oh, like she's lazy, or oh, she doesn't like us. So it's all in your head. You don't need to like just think that people hate you.
Yeah.
It's all in the head.
I still can't really tell if I'm an introvert or extrovert.
Yeah, it takes a while to figure out.
Yeah. But what do you think about just like talking? Like if you're going to say something, or if you're going to ask a question, or like make a noise or something.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Like what is going through your mind when you like utter your sounds?
Like when you talk to like a random person, or like someone you generally know, you feel?
No, just in general.
Just in general,
like,
talking.
Yeah, like anyone. It could be like a close friend, or like it could be a random person.
Let's talk about like in Parker community.
In the Parker community.
Like if you're just in class, but you don't have any friends in the class. We're different.
Okay, so the thing is, like, I'm an introvert, right? But I love talking. Like, I absolutely love speak. He's in my philosophy class. He knows this. I just speak. Like, it's...
Yeah,
He speaks.
It's because I really love attention. So, yeah. I love... Like, I grew up in a huge family, right? I have 2 older brothers, but we're really close to the Neilses, if you know Jules. That's 4 more siblings added to my life. I grew up with a family of basically, like, 10. And in order to be heard, you just have to speak. So in my life, I was basically the youngest of, I don't know, what is that, 7 siblings. Me and Jules were the youngest.
You guys are pretty close in age.
Yeah, exactly. So I was always like, you get pushed around, you get beat up, whatever. And so I feel like when it comes to talking, I want to get to know as many people as possible. And I find that you just have to... First of all, if you're in a classroom, the easiest thing to make a friend is you complain about what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're doing an assignment, you just be like, bro, this assignment. And most, like, almost 99% of the time, they'll be like, yes, bro, like, this assignment. And if somebody, as somebody who puts so many stickers on my laptop, wears so many, like, my nails, my jewelry, whatever, people want you to notice that about them. And, like, they want you to relate to them on that. So it's like, I remember my Walter White sticker on my laptop. Like, people be like, bro, I love Breaking Bad. And I'd be like, yeah, let's talk about it. Like,
and then you just speak. Yeah.
Then you can riff off of that. But it is very nerve-wracking, especially if you look up to the person. Like, there was a guy in my motion media class who I just totally, like, admired him. And it took a while for me to actually speak. But once you do, it's so easy after that.
Yeah. For me, it's completely different. If you see me in a class and I don't have a friend in that class, like, I'll say Spanish, I'm the quietest person there. I am not necessarily, like, just, like, focused on my work. I'm not speaking. I look like I have no friends. I look like a boring person who's silent. Like, probably kids in my Spanish class, they don't even know what I sound like.
Mm.
And it's like a bunch of underclassmen because I'm in that low Spanish level. So I don't know, for me it's completely different, and I try to be more like Maggie because she inspires me to sort of like just speak and try to, especially with like people I don't know. But a lot of times for me, even though I'm the extrovert, I'm the one that's silent and not talking. So I wouldn't say I'm worried for college, but like I could see myself sitting in a college like lesson, just being silent, not talking to anyone.
Yeah. I mean, the
Harder to make friends.
other thing is, like, I've had a lot of flops. Like, I fell on my face a lot. And part of it was I prefer failing and just the joke doesn't land, the thing doesn't land, whatever, over going back to my social anxiety, which I'm telling you guys, it was debilitating. Like, literally, I would have to
0 out of
listen
10.
to, like, what was it? Like, Sims music, Persona 5 music, because I need to pretend I was in like a game to speak to other people. Like, I'm actually serious.
Oh my gosh,
it was
I did
really
not know
bad.
that.
Yeah, like I would walk in and I would have to like
'Cause you were
force
just-
myself in other places. And the only way I got through that was you just gotta embarrass yourself. Like, you just gotta, put the pants on.
You're saying like late sophomore year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You
we were
were-
very different.
Yeah.
You just you were super afraid to like talk to people.
Yeah, it definitely
We had our
was
clique
like
and that was it.
I couldn't even order at a restaurant. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
would-
what it was.
No, I would order for her.
Yeah.
Man.
It was
Yeah.
really like it was really, really bad.
Hmm.
And I think, like, I'm a huge advocate for therapy. I've been in therapy for 4 years.
Everybody should go to therapy.
It helped me so much. And
Nice.
my friendships have been really great in helping me get out there. Like, Lauren, she's not afraid of anything, right? And that's
that's
helped
my
me.
catchphrase is I'm not scared of anything.
And like, guys, like, she's not capping. Like, it's real.
You ask me to do something, I'll do it. Like, I don't care what it is.
Mhm.
So I'm planning on going skydiving. That's the next thing.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid of anything, like, in terms of socially, I would say.
And that's
Like,
great.
I
So
dye
much-
my
So
hair.
much progress.
Mhm.
I have 3 tattoos now. I do everything that I want to do,
Yeah. And I really respect that. Like, I think seeing you at school and like, I don't know, I don't think I figured out your personality, but like you being like just doing what you want to do, like that's like inspiring.
Yeah. And a lot of times it comes from looking up to an older person
Oh, totally.
in grades above, especially like when you're freshman or sophomore, you look at the seniors, you're like, they're so cool, they're so friendly and bubbly, and they're doing so many things, and I'm just in my room doing nothing every day.
Hmm.
And sort of wanting to be like them is like a good push to be more social and find yourself and figure out if you're introvert or extrovert and figure out
Yeah.
who you are, what kind of style you like.
Hmm.
You should
But-
always have like an idol, in the sense that not someone
You don't want to be them.
you don't want to be them,
Mhm.
but it's somebody who makes you get up off your ass and actually do
Yeah.
something.
And someone older, you don't want to compare yourself to them. Like, don't make it like someone, like, don't compare yourself to like one of your friends or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, for
It
sure.
could even be like someone you don't know, someone famous, but
Hmm.
it's inspiring
Yeah.
as long as you do it right.
Yeah.
Tell me about therapy, because
Yeah.
doing it for 4 years is quite a long time. Like, do you do it like weekly? Is it like?
Yes, I've pretty much done it weekly for 4 years since my freshman year. She's actually seen me grow. She saw me get my boyfriend, lose my boyfriend, like all of this
All the
stuff.
phases.
Yeah,
All the
she's watched
phases.
me grow so much. And the reason why I started it was because of the social anxiety, and I also had like pretty severe depression going into my freshman year, which I know a lot of people did because it was COVID, but it was really bad for me to the point where it just needed to happen.
Mhm.
And it's helped because I believe personally, and some people might disagree with this, but I just gotta keep it real, which is that like everybody has something that's makes them wrong. There's nobody who's perfect, and you can blame it on your parents. You can do whatever. For me personally, it was my childhood did kind of mess me up and give me some not so great things to carry for the rest of my life in terms of like abandonment, fear of things like that, which is why my social anxiety was so bad, because I didn't want to make new friends because I was afraid they would just leave.
Yeah.
And I was really insecure of like the way that I
the
looked.
whole cycle.
Yeah, exactly. And especially for young girls, and especially at Parker,
Parker,
I hope
it's gonna be crazy.
for girls, it's brutal because this school is not a usual group of women. It's very like, there's really rich girls, there's really skinny girls, and that's not hate on them. It's just that this is not what real life is like outside.
The Parker
of the
bubble
school.
is very different.
It's very different. And
Therapy helped you for that.
Therapy helped because and also just going out. Like, concerts also really helped me because I would go out, and because I like a lot of different genres of music, like, I saw
great.
so many different kinds of people. I was like, bro, who cares? Like, your niche is out there. Like, everyone should know that your niche is out there. There is other people who like the same things you like. Don't freaking stress about it. You know, you'll get your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever someday. Some people really get in their head about that. Mm-hmm. And you'll find these people because they're there. I found one at Parker. I found my group at Parker. But
most people don't.
Yeah.
Most people are unhappy in their friend groups and they don't feel like they belong.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Because you will go somewhere else in life. Like, this is not the end all be all. For sure.
You think that applies just for Parker and like a private school, or do you think it applies to all like high schools?
I think all high schools, but Parker's kind of crazy.
Parker, high schools in general, it's hard because, you know, everyone's going through the same horrible growth period. But Parker specifically, I can say as somebody who was really invested in like the arts and things like that, and the arts specifically, there isn't really a huge community of them, and actually a lot of them were upperclassmen and they've left, and I feel like there's not a lot of kids who I see kind of carrying, I don't want to say carrying the torch because it's not necessary for it to be around here, but I also think like there's not a lot of people who are, or at least feel welcome to do it, which is why I go on TikTok and make like stitches of videos like every week where I just complain.
She loves complaining on TikTok.
Yeah, I just go on there because
everyone should follow Maggie on TikTok. If you want to hear someone complain.
I will complain all day long. But there's a guy who went on TikTok and said that San Diego has no fashion scene. And that just pissed me off because I was like, you obviously don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like, you've never been outside. Like, tell me you only hang out at Mission Beach without telling me you only hang out at Mission Beach. Because, like, literally you could go to, like, a house show in Kearney Mesa and you will find, like, 500 teens there and who dress up like they will get, like, shot if they don't look good.
Yeah, they're all, like, so fashionable. Like, there are so many different groups of high schoolers out there, and trapping yourself in the Parker bubble and thinking you have to just make friends at Parker is, like, the worst thing you can do to yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you need outside friends or outside, I don't know, inspiration to just grow as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard something recently. I want to bookmark this for later, like fashion, because I never really thought about that. But I heard something recently which was like how courage is like an external thing. Like you can't just like fake courage. Like it's kind of comes from outside, like support from other people or some other thing. And like with your perspective of like you're not like scared of anything. And also like Maggie, with you saying like you've learned through therapy, like with just like overcoming this idea of like like being scared that friends are gonna leave you or like abandonment. Like how do you think you can apply that to like your own life? Like where do you find the courage to like go out and like make the people who like find your group or like find the people that you're gonna love?
It's a big question. I'll start.
Yes.
So for me, with my whole like I'm not scared at anything act, which I love to say, it challenges myself to have more courage because I don't know, like courage, it's a big topic and it can go a lot of different ways, but I like to think of Maggie as like my rock. And a lot of times when I'm out and about with one of my friends who isn't Maggie, I think about like, oh, like what would Maggie do in this situation? Because a lot of times she's a lot more like we talked about, like she'll just say whatever, she'll do whatever, not in a bad way at all. And so I try to not act like Maggie, but think about what Maggie might do, and that helps me have more courage because I love Maggie so dearly. So I don't know, that, and then like having like always making like having a challenge to be better than your current self also gives you more courage, because I think about where I am today and my life is not bad at all, but I think of how it can be better, and that sort of like gives me more like endurance and strive to do better in all different parts of my life, in school, in social life, in my style, in like every different thing. And I don't know. So sort of thinking about, like, I think about Maggie just because Maggie, I think she has more courage than me. So I think about her, but it could be about anyone. I just sort of think like, okay, like what would Maggie do? And then I apply that, because it's usually like, okay, Maggie would just do it. Like, let me do it.
It's so cute because, like, I do most of my crazy stuff because I think, oh, Lauren wouldn't be afraid. So it's like we kind of bounce off each other because I'm a total scaredy cat. Like,
She is,
I am
oh my God.
full
Let's
blown.
The cliff jumping. Okay.
Oh my God.
So this summer, I don't know, everybody must know this spot. Sunset Cliffs, there's a spot where you can jump off a cliff. It's, I'd say, how far?
It's like 10 feet,
15,
maybe?
15,
yeah.
15 feet, okay? You can jump off. It's illegal. Like, if the cops come around and you're there, you're getting a ticket.
Yeah, you're done.
They're yelling, get out of the water. So we're at this cliff, you know, we're looking over the edge.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's jump, right? And then Maggie's like, no,
Oh,
no.
hell
She's
no.
like backing up.
Yeah.
She's like getting tense.
Because it's illegal, or because like
No.
you're scared?
I have a fear of, like, small heights. Like, if I look over a building, I'm fine. But any height that I think could break my leg. Like, if I look off something and I think, okay, this could kill me.
Yeah, we could
I'm
get
not
in. That's
afraid.
why it's illegal. Like, you
Yeah.
can get injured. But, you know, I was standing there. I'm like, Maggie, let's just do it. Like, we're just going to land in the water. We're going to swim up. And so we jumped.
Yeah.
She did it once.
I
Like,
did it
I
once.
did it many times. She
I was
did it once.
very, very afraid.
She was so scared, but you know what? I was so proud of her after she did that jump, and that's just sort of, I don't know, it's a kind of like, it's a cool way to think about
Yeah.
our friendship, that cliff jumping time. Would you do it again?
I would be able to do again maybe if I, like, I don't know. It's a lot
I
for
don't know if
me.
you
It's a
could.
lot for me.
But hey, you did it once.
Yeah,
I'm still proud of you for doing it.
It takes me, like, with Lauren in specific, she could really get me to do something. But I'm a total peer pressure person. Like, I remember I went to Knott's Berry Farm with Jules, and the ride's closed down now, that blue ride. This ride was scary. Like, it was as tall as, like,
illegal.
a six-floor building. Scary as hell. Crazy drop. Mind you, I had been riding roller coasters now for, like, 1 year. I was new to the community.
Yeah, you were not like
And Jules
roller
was
coaster
like,
expert.
Yeah, she's like, Maggie, let's go on it. I had to listen to BTS on my way up to the roller coaster to, like calm
hype
myself
herself.
down. Because I was like, if I die, this is going to be the last song I listen to. And so I get in the roller coaster, scared shitless, man. I was not ready for that. And I go down, and it's fine. You know, it's over. And same thing for the rides at the fair. Ooh, those get me even
rides-
more, because you think that screw's going to fall off. I'm going to
Life-
fall with it.
Yeah,
So,
jump for 360.
yeah, no. But with me and Lauren, it's like, if I'm with her, this sounds so corny, but it's like,
so corny.
I feel like I could genuinely do whatever, and that's my favorite part. Like, if I was walking in, so I'm going to Fordham, right, which is in the Bronx. And my mom, because I'm like peer pressure core, if she gets scared, I'll get scared. So there's this area of the Bronx that's a lot more hustle and bustle than the campus, and the other half of it is.
It's like true Bronx.
And I remember texting Lauren being like, my mom's such a pussy. Like, if you were here, we'd be walking right up that. Because she wasn't willing to walk up it.
Yeah, she wasn't wanting to walk down that street.
So that's how I feel. It's like, I could do anything together, and that's, like, that's it, you know?
But we're also completely different people, and so we don't merge into one and sort of get
Like all
lost.
Yeah.
You know? Like, we're very different people. Like, I have friends who probably wouldn't want to be your friend, and you have friends who wouldn't want to be my friend. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, because that's how you know it's like, okay, you made it.
You're different people.
Yeah. The Venn diagram doesn't have to all, you know,
Doesn't
it's a
have
Venn
to, yeah.
diagram.
All of
got
my
this,
friends
you
don't
know.
have to be your friends.
Yeah, and they aren't. And all my friends are her friends.
Do you have do you guys have a pressure to like maintain the friendship like until like just like as long as you guys can? Is there like a desire to be like in 5 years I like Maggie's is still gonna be my best friend, or like
Yeah, so I'd say I'd talk about our matching tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
So Maggie and I were planning on getting a matching tattoo.
Mhm.
And Maggie's planning on getting many tattoos throughout her life, but for me, I'm not planning on many. I have one right now. Maggie has 3. So I want to match a tattoo with Maggie, But I literally told this to Maggie because we're very open. I said, Maggie, I'm not getting a matching tattoo with you until after graduation.
Yeah.
And that's because I was like, what if you do me dirty? That's literally what I said. What? Yeah, I said, what if you do me dirty and I have a matching tattoo with you? And then I said, once we graduate that stage and I've gone through every single day of my life, calling you, texting you, going on adventures with you every single weekend, I see you every single day of my life for 4 years, then I know we're locked in for life. Let's get that matching tattoo.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to be at my wedding.
Definitely.
I'm going to continue to call you. We're going to be locked in.
Yeah, like, definitely for me, I'm somebody where I'm not one of those people where you have to text me every single day to, like, keep everything in touch. And I know that in college it's going to be difficult, especially with time zones and the distance and everything.
But we're not petty like that.
Yeah, and I know, but the thing is, like, I won't forget 4 entire years of my life, and I have so many photos, so many memories, and everything, and I know that Lauren will be a part of my life for the rest of my life, and I don't say that lightly. Like, when I say it, I mean it, and I've never had a friend where I feel like that's the truth, because I'm like a very realistic person myself. I'm like, it's not gonna, whatever, but I feel very strongly about that.
We're very lucky to have found each other.
Yeah. And
we found each other when we were both weird. we had very similar experiences in middle school where we had, near the end of middle school, both of us had no friends. Mm-hmm. I don't need to leak our lore, but, you know.
I was eating lunch in the bathroom.
She was eating lunch in the bathroom by herself.
Mm-hmm. On Discord.
You know, I was sitting alone. I was at home. I was scared to go to school 8th grade because I had no one to sit with at lunch. Yeah. And so I chose to do online school. And so we found each other. When we were weird, we had no friends. You know, we blossomed into, I don't know, like, pretty cool people.
I would say so, yeah.
I mean, kind of glazing myself here, but like, that's
you
part
gotta,
of it.
Yeah, you gotta, like, gas yourself up a little bit.
You have to have, like, strength and courage and, like, be a little selfish. And work on yourself a lot before you go and try to, like, be cool to other people and try to, like, do all these things, because you need to be strong like, your soul needs to be strong, and you can't, like, you can have insecurities, everyone has insecurities, but you can't, I don't know, not trust yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to remember, you're stuck in this body, like, you're not going anywhere, man. Yeah. So why, like, you know, hit yourself down and
That's why I think high school is such a great time to blossom, and not everyone blossoms. Happens in college for some people.
I don't think I blossom.
Yeah. But, like, change is good. And changing into your true form and who you actually want to be is such a beautiful thing. And like we said earlier, you'll lose some people, but you'll gain more than you lost. And you'll have your own community, and that's great. We have a lot of good friends now. For sure. A lot of friends that I gained junior, senior year. Like freshman, sophomore year, I wasn't...
Yeah, we weren't really in the field.
Yeah, my first party I ever went to, like an actual party, was... after prom, junior year.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't invited to parties before then.
We both, like, a lot of people have seen us at a lot of parties recently. We were not invited to Jack. Like,
yeah, I did the math today. After, we've gone on, I think, 9 weekends in a row we partied. after like, this weekend. So, we're always out and about now. But, yeah, freshman, sophomore, even junior year, we were not partying. We were not invited. We were... nothing. And you know what we were doing? We were working on ourselves.
Yeah, we would go out all the time by ourselves, and now people are like, you guys have the best stories, you have this and that. It's like, bro, we didn't have anywhere else to go.
We didn't have anywhere else to go. So, you know, the two of us, we'd go out, we'd be like, it's Friday, let's have fun. We don't care if other kids in our grade are partying. We don't care if they're all hanging out. We have each other. We're going to grow as people. We're going to go on adventures, and we're going to add to our lore.
Yeah, the lore.
So, that really helped us, too, because, you know, we have a lot of sophomore friends, and... we see them trying to rush life. Not that we're like all these... we're not knowledgeable, but like they try to rush into like just being friends with seniors, going to parties, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's no shade or anything.
Trying to get a boyfriend, trying to get a girlfriend. You're 15, 16 years old. You're not ready. Like you need to be stable as a person first.
Yeah, for sure. Because at the end, they're the ones who will come and ask us and talk to us about like our lives and stuff, and it's like, well, you know, you're kind of growing up a little too fast. Like, you've got to enjoy that stage where it's just you and your friends in a room at a sleepover trying who knows what, doing who knows what. And then you'll realize, like, because when you have that tight crew, like, that means at the party, like, you're having fun with your crew, first and foremost. And second of all, you can kind of celebrate the new friends you've made at these parties. And the parties aren't end all be all. The reason why we go to the parties is A, it's really fun to dress up. That's why I love parties. You dress up. And B, I love the fact that these people, you know, who do things at these parties, they are so much more open to talking to new people. And I don't even care if the conversation's fake. Like, some people get really up in arms about it. They're like, they said we're going to hang out next weekend, like, and they did it. It's like, nobody cares. Was it funny? Did you have a laugh? Was it a memory?
You get to talk with people who normally on your day-to-day, that kid in class would never talk to you. And so it's fun. Like, that's
and take all these cute pictures.
Yeah, we love taking pictures. We love dressing up. Like, if you see us at any party, Maggie and I are on theme. We are always on theme.
We will buy new fits for the theme.
We'll thrift new fits for the party because we want to be on theme. We love it so much, and we're glad to be included now.
Yeah, so for sure.
Okay, back to the topic of fashion. What makes, like, dressing up or, like, choosing, like, finding your style fun to you or, like, meaningful to you?
Maggie loves style.
I think for me personally, it was, you should have, like, a spiritual coach or whatever, but for fashion, it kind of, like, you can have, like, a group of people that are like, okay, I like that outfit they wore, but you cannot be trying to copy just one person because you will never do it right. You'll never have their body. You'll never have their face. And I realized that into my, like, sophomore year. And so I started buying clothes that, you know, actually fit me. And what I do is, like, you can see a piece on someone if you like it. You know, you bookmark it. You'll trail back to it or whatever. But I think fashion and I think clothes are, like, a huge part of being really... being really confident in who you are. Like, when I have a good fit on, I feel so much better about myself. And it's not about looking pretty or, like, whatever.
We don't care about like, that. It's like
the feeling.
It's the feeling of wearing something that expresses who you are, which is like what everyone says, but it
like,
really does make a difference.
Yeah.
It's for yourself, not for other people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I think I definitely want people to notice, like, I've got this cool ass fit on, whatever. But I also know that it's like I'm wearing what I genuinely like wearing. And also, like, it looks good on me personally, like my body type and everything, which is also a huge part of it. And that at the end of the day, nobody, like, I don't know, like, I go to a lot of these events and I'll wear, like, really crazy stuff. Like, I'll wear fur coats and things like that.
That's iconic.
And people... I've gotten so many people who've talked to me about those things, and I love how it's just a memory. Like, I create memories in these clothes. Like, that's what's important to me, is the memories. And there's two things I get that from, which is these clothes and posters. And I've done everything possible to try and put myself everywhere I am. Like, my car, covered in stickers. My room, there's no wall space. It's covered in posters. My clothes... I get them from all over the place, like...
Everywhere, like, every single time Maggie and I go to a new city, we're thrifting.
Yeah. That's a really... If you love thrifting and you want to find new finds, drag your family out to the thrift store. We were in freaking Japan. I made my family... Taipei. I made my family go to the thrift store. Because that's, like... There's just memories in these clothes. Like, I don't want to get spiritual, but I do believe in there's, like... Sometimes you've got to make these good... Like, I wear the hoodie that I crash my car in all the time now because I need to create new memories in it.
Do you just search up, like, thrift stores on Google Maps or something?
I use TikTok.
Yeah, either TikTok or Google Maps.
Yeah, TikTok, since it's more like the Gen Z audience, it's a lot more filtered out of the, like, just whatever on the internet. Go to TikTok, you search up thrift stores in Philadelphia. Boom.
Yeah.
And you go. And a lot of times, they're flops. And that's what people don't like. Our peers will give up so fast on thrifting because they'll go to one thrift store. They'll say, nothing's here good. Like, it's all bad. They'll give up and they'll go to the mall. you have to go to so many different places to find one item of clothing. And that's what makes it fun, because it's always a challenge. If it was easy, it'd be boring, we'd move on.
I know. That's why going thrifting, you have to have a thrifting friend. You need somebody who's willing to wait there for me, I'll be in a thrift store for like 2 hours.
And sometimes you go alone.
Yeah.
Going alone's really good, too.
I go alone a lot. And then also, like, I'm, like, crazy with, like, Depop, the Real, Grailed.
Maggie and I were always looking through Poshmark, Depop,
Yes,
Grailed,
Poshmark's a hidden gem.
We scroll through those apps. Like, I'll be watching a movie and scrolling through Depop at the same time, bookmarking stuff, buying stuff.
Yeah, and you can't be, like, this sounds, like, pretty, what's it called? Ironic coming from me. But you can't be, like, I don't, like, buy heavy. I don't know how to say, like, trigger happy or whatever, because you're going to regret some of those purchases. I mean, I've done it all the time.
You take L's.
You're going to take
Sometimes
a lot of L's.
you buy stuff, you're like, damn.
But you can sell it. You can move on. And you should be, if you love fashion, you should be purging your wardrobe, like, constantly.
That's something that I need
Give
to work
back
on.
to your community, donate it. And then also it leaves room for new stuff. And eventually you'll have such, like, a curated wardrobe that you're going to like everything you put on. Everything's going to fit you.
That's the best feeling. It took years.
Don't be afraid if you lose weight, you gain weight, just buy what fits you, man. Like, I remember my sophomore year, I had a complex, whatever.
Me too.
I was trying to fit into things that did not fit. It did not look good on me. Just buy what you want and buy it in your size. Trust me.
Like, the worst thing ever is buying a pair of jeans too small for you, being like, these will fit me one day.
No.
Flop. Never, especially the sophomore girls. Don't do that.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Like, that's the thing. You can't be afraid of, like, what's going on. Like, I encourage people, like, I lift weights because I love lifting weights. It makes me feel like that guy. But
you love lifting.
Find something to do that's, like, exercise. Even someone like me with my long nails, my jewelry, whatever, I still do stuff in my life. So, like, go for a walk. You won't regret it,
Mm-hmm.
Walking alone, best thing ever.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah, you got to be comfortable in the silence.
Do you walk with your phone or do you walk?
She walks with her phone.
Yeah, I listen to music.
And if the phone dies, she goes and charges it and then continues her walk.
I bring a charger in my purse. I know where to charge my phone in Hillcrest.
Yeah.
I made a TikTok about it.
Yeah, she walks Mission Hills, Hillcrest. I go on walks in Point Loma.
Mm-hmm.
I've walked from my house to Sunset Cliffs, which is
beautiful,
pretty damn far.
Yeah, that's over that.
And then
too.
Sometimes I don't have the energy to walk back, so I call my dad. I'm like, "Hey, can you pick me up?" He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like 10 miles away.
10 miles
okay,
away.
okay.
Yeah.
And then he drives me home. But I don't know. Like, even me being an extrovert who loves doing things alone, I like to just think that walking by myself is very important. And I think Maggie has it right. And so I'm like, okay, time to go on a walk, Maggie. You'll be proud of me. So I go on walks alone for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's great.
I
But
like
a lot of times for me, I end up calling people because I still suffer with needing to constantly talk to someone. So
Yeah.
still working on myself.
I'm a huge music fiend. I listen to music to go to sleep. I will probably be listening to music at any point in the day. That's why
even during tests.
Yes, the Yonder Pouch thing was very serious for me, and not because of my phone in class. It was because I couldn't listen to music. I was listening to music all day long.
Yeah, and not like she wasn't like cheating with her AirPods in. She was just listening.
I was listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a test playlist. I had a playlist for Harknesses, which was straight rap music. Because of my social anxiety, Harknesses were evil. So I had, like, some hard hitters in my class, if you know, senior class, which is, like, the guys who really want to debate in your history class.
Yeah.
And I would
crazy.
listen to rap music in my ear so I would feel, like, tough.
It would work.
Yeah, it would work.
It would work.
It would work. And I would be, like... It would, like, inspire me to speak up against them. And then I would go home
It's a
and I
hard
regret
thing
it.
to speak
What
against.
are some artists you listen to?
Okay, let's see.
Oh, she loves this question.
Oh, let's look.
She loves Blade. She loves
Blade. I
obviously
love trap
K-pop.
music.
Trap music is our new favorite.
So
Little
yeah,
House.
House. I've been listening to a little bit of House. Yeah. Let me look at the. Yeah, it's called Harkness and History. I have TK on here.
Yeah, classic.
Joey, if you know Joey.
Classic is like TV
Young
Girl.
Boy Never Broke Again.
TV
Never judge a
Girl.
book by its cover. Oh, TV Girl. TV Girl's my most listened to artist last year. This year, I'm trying to get it to be Netspend. I've been listening to so much. I'll listen
I
to
don't know how
Netspend
you
when I
listen.
go to sleep.
That music gives me a headache sometimes.
Hey, and that's the thing. Oh, if there's one thing I'm not afraid of, it's the pit. The concert pit. Dude, I went
We'll lose nails in the pit.
I went in the net spin pit. Oh! I went in the net spin pit. I lost a nail. I got punched in the face. But the pit will help you up. The pit will help you up. Don't be afraid to be a woman in the pit. You're going to get bruises. You're going to get battered.
It's sometimes scary because it's all a bunch of men in there. Who are
and they're
all, like,
sweaty.
6'2". But going in the pit is a freeing experience.
Yeah. It's the only time I feel like I can actually like flail my body around and like nobody cares.
Yeah.
I've never been to a concert before.
You need to go to a concert.
You need to go at least one.
I don't like, yeah.
You got to go to a concert where you're not sitting in a chair. You're like, everybody's on the, like...
The GA.
Yeah, the general
The general
admission
admission.
where everyone's standing because there's something so horrible about being pressed against a bunch of sweaty bodies that makes it beautiful.
Yeah. Because you just, I don't know.
And you're listening to the music and it's so loud and it's just like throughout your entire body.
Yeah, like something about concerts really freed me because you go to these concerts and you're just one of them. Like you're just in the pack. Nobody cares about you.
They don't care about you.
Everyone's staring at the artists up there, and everybody's like moving like with each other. You feel like
Connected. It's connecting to your community.
Yeah, and to be honest, there is certain artists who are better at this than others. Like I remember, this is gonna sound corny again, but when I saw Ian, the guy who made like Magic Johnson or whatever,
That guy's cute.
he was in his like peak of fame when he was I don't think he's down or not in his prime anymore, but he was like hitting it at the time I saw him in San Diego. I saw him alone on a Thursday night, and basically he was like controlling the crowd. He was like a wizard. He would like move and they'd move with him, and it's honestly
crazy.
kind of beautiful in a way.
I've never seen that.
Like when he would come to the front of the stage, you could see people like just like light up and move forward. In the Netspin show, I hate to say it, but he was a great performer because it's about energy, and the room will get full of energy. And I've been to low-key people like These Sacred Souls or like Men I Trust.
Those are
it's
like
just
more
as
zen.
beautiful.
More
And-
zen, but it's like peaceful.
Yeah, totally. And the people the thing is singing along to is really special.
Yeah.
I want to ask about like the process of getting to like an artist or like getting to like a song or music, and how does that occur? Do you have to listen to a song like a couple times to like it? Like, does it just click? Because
Yeah.
I
I'd
don't-
say like Maggie and I have different music tastes, but we have a lot of music we do love to listen to together. But listening to, okay, this is gonna sound, I am a stalker. So I use Spotify. I go into my following and I click through and I go to people that are associated with me but I might not be friends with at Parker. I'll click on their playlist. I'll listen to their playlist. It sort of like opens your mind to like who they are as a person, and I'll find songs that are fire.
Yeah.
Add it to my playlist. And sometimes Maggie put on a song and be like, "Turn this off. This is horrible." I'll listen again. She was on to something. It's amazing.
Some things
That's
take
so
a couple
weird.
listens for sure.
Yeah.
Like for me, like if you post a song on Instagram, I am actually listening.
Oh, we're listening.
By the way, I'm actually listening. I found, shout out Sailor. There's a girl named Sailor. She's really chill. She never went here, but she posts a lot of music on her story. I will genuinely listen. I found so much music through that, and actually, oddly enough, through Instagram edits.
Instagram edits are really good.
They know their
Yeah.
music.
And sometimes on TikTok, people love to be like, "Ooh, TikTok, like horrible music." There's a lot of good songs on there.
Yeah, the problem with the TikTok thing is like people don't realize it. TikTok has an algorithm. You're seeing a specific portion of TikTok, and the music's going to be tailored to you. So there is certain songs which are, yes, very popular on TikTok, but that just means they're popular in general. It's the same thing as if it was played on the radio, but I don't see anyone being like radio music anymore.
Yeah.
They're not saying that. They just switched to TikTok music. Like, don't be afraid to like a popular song. Like, the people who are saying that just want to
They're
be
kinda
different
insufferable.
so bad.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to, like, hop off. If the song's good, the song's good. If you think the song's annoying, that's diff. But, like, it's TikTok music, yeah, but, like, can we talk about the song, though?
The
Like,
song's low-key fire.
the song's low-key fire. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I don't know.
And-
I love it.
Yeah,
I
and
love
take
TikTok.
that TikTok music
love
and listen to the
Instagram.
album.
Yeah, social media has helped me find so much more music.
Mm.
I got a phone in 6th grade. The first year of me having a phone, I didn't have like a music app. Can you believe that, Maggie?
I
First year,
cannot.
I didn't have Spotify, I didn't have Apple Music, nothing. I didn't play music on my phone.
That's insane.
Yeah, and as soon as I did that, it helps you find who you are too. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And the more music, you can find like the subculture that goes with the music.
Yeah, Maggie's super into all that.
I know, there's a lot of
A
like...
little more than I am.
And you kind of just gotta like... For me, I always end up finding new music that like sparks something for me, and I like this song, I'll play it again and again and again.
Yeah.
I have over 4,000 liked songs. You know, sometimes, and the thing is, you're gonna like start to hate certain songs.
Yeah.
But you can return to it and it'll be better. Or
Yeah.
maybe you return to it and it's like, oh, this is ass.
What was I thinking?
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been totally swayed on so many art. I used to actually hate the Beatles. Totally hate the Beatles. Dated a guy who loved the Beatles. Suddenly it made sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your brain is actively changing and growing every single day. You will not like the same thing that you liked yesterday.
Yeah. And I think also it's important to not mask what kind of music you listen to people around you. Like, I still do this sometimes. If we're driving my car, like I'm driving, and it's my phone plugged into the aux, sometimes I get worried because if I'm with someone who like only listens to rap and I'm playing like music that's not rap, I get a little worried, you know?
I feel that, yeah.
So it's kind of a stressful thing, but you just gotta let it go. You just gotta listen to your music and be like, hey, if you hate this, just let me know. I won't take it personally.
Yeah.
We'll skip the song. But that's hard. Like, Maggie, I never worry about that. I just play whatever.
Yeah,
She used to do
I
with
put
it.
her on some, like, I tried to make her listen to some crazy
She listens to some Baltimore like hood trap songs.
Oh, yeah.
Those are low key.
The Baltimore, shout out DB by the bag.
Yeah, I was listening to those on the way to school this morning with my little sister. She's a freshman at Parker. She put her AirPods in. She couldn't handle it.
She couldn't take cocky?
No, she couldn't.
No, that's the thing. That's the other thing about music is anybody, anywhere, anything could put you on. I got put onto this, like, fire song at Urban Outfitters once.
My favorite song ever, I was at a gas station in New Hampshire. They were playing it. I turned on my Shazam. What is this song?
Yeah.
It's so good. I love that song now. So you always have to be on the hunt. And you can't think that you're done growing.
Yeah.
You're never done.
You'll find something else.
My problem with songs right now, like, I've talked about this a lot on, like, the podcast, but it's just, like, I started listening to Christian music a couple of years ago because I got really Christian, and then, like, I stopped listening to any other type of music, and then I stopped listening to Christian music, and now, like, all the music I listen to, pretty much all of it just sounds weird. I can't connect with it. It doesn't sound good. And I think a part of it's just, like, I don't really get the lyrics, or I, like, find it annoying. Like, yesterday a good example is yesterday I was coming back from getting gas, and, like, I was trying to listen to some Taylor Swift, and, like, it was like Welcome to New York. It was like some like it was like
Welcome to New York.
Yeah, something like
For you.
Oh, please.
some other songs, and I just didn't. I was like, how do people like this song? Like, how do they like these songs?
Personally, I'm pretty strongly opinionated. The only artist I don't like is Taylor Swift.
No way.
Yeah.
The only artist, so I can't speak on Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I don't listen to a lot of Taylor, but here's the thing. If you don't like somebody, yeah, you should just ditch them and move on. I tried for a long time.
Bob Dylan.
With Bob Dylan.
I knew you were going to say
Me and Bob, we went through it. There's like 3 songs by Bob Dylan I can handle, right? And same thing with Lana Del Rey. I'm not a big Lana girl either.
Oh, some of those songs are really good.
Yeah, her songs that are good are good. But oh my god.
What are the 3 Bob Dylan songs?
I think one of them I like
like
Knocking on
Knockin'
Heaven's Door.
That's my
There's
favorite.
another one. I like Queen Jane
It's-
Approximately. The thing is, there's some people who make you feel bad about not liking these artists. They'll make you feel very
They
weird
kind
about
of like
it.
shame you on it.
And you should just say like, bro, you don't even listen to Net. Like, what are you talking about?
See, that's the thing. You can't care about someone else. What you have to do is you have to just think in your head, even if it's not true, I'm just cooler than
Yeah,
them.
like-
I'm just on
Yeah.
something different. Like, you can't be like, that kid's cooler. Like, he just knows what he's talking about. Like, no, you're better.
Yeah,
You're
you
cooler.
can't be afraid.
You are a stronger person because you're listening to something that other people don't like.
And being willing to say like, I don't really like it is chill. Like, I'm friends with 2 of the most like die-hard Taylor Swift fans. We just don't listen to Taylor Swift. Or sometimes they'll suck it up if it's like their birthday or something. You know? Other than that.
Who are these Taylor Swift
Like
fans?
Jules Reese.
Jules and Reese?
Huge Taylor Swift fans. Huge Taylor Swift fans. And it takes a lot for me to be like, and so they're like my sisters, so I clown them sometimes, like, bro, turn this shit off. But like, they get me back because they're like, Maggie, like, this is actual dog water. Like, because I've been listening to so much like really strange music. Like, I've been into like Shanghai cloud rap.
Oh, yes, going
Why?
off of
What?
music. If you go into like not just music that's in English. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Like, I've been listening to a lot of Spanish music lately, and honestly, I listen to probably more Spanish music than, like, music in English, and it's great. Like, yeah, I'm just a white girl listening to Spanish music. I don't know the lyrics, but there's just something about those beats that just get you going. Same, like, I listen to some Chinese music.
Yeah.
Like, listen to some, like, Jack Zebra.
Oh, yeah.
That's
like,
Chinese, right?
Yeah, it's
Chinese rap.
Like, shout out Nico, because he put me on to so much.
Nico
Savoya. He put me on to, like, some 1960s Thai music, Thai rock. I'm pretty sure it's Thai. It's either Thai or, like, Vietnamese. It's probably both. I think he had, like, a mixture of it in his playlist. So fire. Fire.
He would play that music on his way to school every day.
Yeah, he played Arabic music.
Oh, I listen to some Arabic music,
it was
too.
so fire. And it took, like, but this kind of depends. Some people, like, they need, like my mom. She needs to know the lyrics.
Yeah, my mom, she needs to know lyrics. Like,
but I like the beat.
I can listen just the beat and
the
be
voice.
okay with that.
Yeah.
And be like.
But that is because I grew up with K-pop. Like, I started actually listening to music when I found BTS. That was it. Which, crazy, corny, but, like.
Corny.
Yeah. I got super into music through that. And that's also why I kind of appreciated, like, the art form of, like, music video, things like that. It's kind of it's like a forgotten art these days, is a music video. I don't think a lot of people watch them anymore, to be honest. Somebody might clown me for that. They might be like, bro, what you talking about? But, like,
I don't listen to music. I don't watch music videos anymore.
Yeah, I used to watch Katy Perry music videos.
Well, a lot of times, like, when you're little, that's what you do.
Yeah, you just watch music videos.
And think they're cool.
Like Katy Perry. I used to watch Katy Perry. Yeah, that's another reason why I don't like Taylor Swift as much. I'm a huge Katy Perry girl. Between the two pop icons, Katy Perry, she was it for me.
And that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Billie Eilish was talking about, like, music videos being like an art form.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
They are.
They're really
They add
cool.
so much, and a lot of times, like, watching the music video with the song, you understand what the artist was thinking when they made the song, which is
totally.
why I like it.
Yeah, and some of them are just so iconic. Like, for me,
I'll rewatch.
my sophomore and junior year, all I remember from it really was I'd watch the Joey music videos, and if any of you guys have seen these, they're so creepy. Or they're, like, creepy and strange with Shed Theory. And Joey's, like, this really big white man.
Yeah, he's big.
And he brings in his little guys, and they're all, like, sipping lean. Like, it's the craziest music video. They're in this, and they're in the shed, and they're in the swamp.
I need to watch
And there's,
this.
like, editing where it looks like he's, like, backwards and upside down.
Send me the link.
Yeah. If you ever want something weird to watch,
Yeah, hit up
watch Joey. Joey 2 Wise.
Maggie's DMs are always open.
Oh,
you
yeah.
hit her up. Even if you've never talked to her before, she'll send you a link to something.
I'll bother you.
She'll bother
I pinky
you.
promise.
Speaking of lean, I think you mentioned in the email that you first sent, like, you mentioned addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, addiction. It's a big thing for us.
Have you guys? Yeah.
I've been addicted to things.
Lots of things.
I have a huge caffeine addiction. Like, I'll actually get kind of, like, crabby and crazy. Which BTW, I spent a lot of money on that shit. But I've been addicted to other things, which people who know me know. Like, they're not great things to be addicted to. But I think the thing that I realized about it is you can do it. You will break your habit. But you genuinely have to want to do it, and you need the people around you doing it too, period. The only reason why I've ever, like, broken a streak or anything was because of the crowd around me, which I'm not mad. I'm not like, bro, like, screw these people. But I've watched it happen in my friend group multiple times where it's like you'll see, like, systems in place, and as soon as one person falls, everyone's going to fall.
Yeah, let me speak on this. Nicotine.
Oh, yeah.
I was addicted to nicotine for a very, very long time, starting sophomore year. And then I quit. I tried to quit. Shout out Matthew and Jake Mills. Matthew's don't know Jake Mills. They inspired me because they saw me struggling to quit. So I tried quitting. It took me 4 months of trying, like, failing. Like, okay, if y'all know the I Am Sober app, I Am Sober app. Gotta
been there, bro.
Restart, because I keep failing. And then February 19th, 2024, I quit, and I kept the streak going for as long as I could. And it was really hard, especially if you're around people who are doing what you're trying to quit, like what addiction you're trying to quit. It's really hard,
Mm-hmm.
but it is possible. Like people be like, I can't quit what I'm addicted to because my friends do it. My friends are addicted to it and they're not quitting. You can do it because I did it when every single person I was hanging out with was doing something and I was quitting. And I would open up my I Am Sober app and look at that number go up. You've been clean for 5 days. You've been clean for 10 days. You've been clean for 100 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it to 420 days and then I did go back to nicotine. But you know what? I'm not addicted anymore.
Yeah.
I do dabble in nicotine still,
Mm-hmm.
but probably once a week, maybe twice a week. And I'm not addicted and I don't need nicotine to go about my day. And that's
Yeah.
something
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah. And I think another huge part of addiction is relationships. I think
That's
the reason
hard.
why I got addicted to substance use was because of the fact that I was in a relationship that was
With someone
heavy
who was
substance
addicted.
use.
Mhm.
Yes, and I don't want to like air him out or anything because
Mhm.
it's not his fault. You know, he was going through his own things too. But I will say that, especially when you're younger, it's a really, really hard thing to deal
Yeah,
with. And
it
I was
made
dealing
it
with
worse.
multiple friends who were going through the same thing, and I could feel myself slipping. And I just want people to know that if you were in the place that I was in terms of a relationship where your partner or whatever is struggling with something, I beg of you, say it so much earlier than I did. It took me pretty much a whole year to get to that point where I was able to confront him and say, like, hey, like, you've been spending your money.
On the wrong things.
I said, yeah, he would lie to me and say, like, he didn't have money for things and well, yada, yada. But I would see him go and buy, like, alcohol and, you know, nicotine and things like that.
Mhm.
And that was really tough for me. And I called him out on it. And it was really, really hard conversation. You know, everybody crying, the whole call crying.
Mhm.
But the other half is that, you know, it's hard because you're looking at this person like they're a victim, but at the end of the day, they're another human being. If you can try your best to support them. I don't think you shouldn't, but I also think that it is so easy to get dragged down into something that you do not want to be in. Trust me, you do not want to be there. It's brutal.
It's hard. Yeah. It's kind of interesting and not that like I definitely had a different experience because Maggie and I were in relationships at the same time. Her boyfriend addicted to substances, my
Mhm.
boyfriend against substances.
Mhm.
So you can literally see the difference because I had someone who was telling me, stop nicotine, stop nicotine, stop nicotine. I'm going to leave you if you don't stop nicotine, that kind of thing. And not in a threatening way, but in a way that pushed me to quit.
Mhm.
And the other way, which is being around someone and being in a relationship with someone who's always
Yeah.
using substances to sort of glaze over their problems, which only drags you down. And
Yeah, for sure.
like, I if you are in a situation, especially high school, that's not like your future husband or wife. Leave them.
yeah, and
You
it's
don't
not
need
normal.
to sit and be in a position where you're surrounded by people and in a relationship and your partner is using substances. Leave them and find someone who will support you and bring you out of the cave and bring you out of the dark.
Yeah. And mind you, like, I'm no saint myself. Like, I definitely dabble in a lot of substance use. However, I think that there's a very distinct line, especially with things like alcohol. And people don't want to admit it, but weed is the same way. You can
get addicted
you
to
can
weed.
get addicted to weed.
People love to
you
say.
can't scientifically, whatever, yada, yada,
They love
yada.
to be like, you can't get addicted to weed.
But if you're using weed to smoke every night, if you need weed to like feel like yourself, they don't realize it, but everybody else knows, and it's really, really hard because when you're not sober, you can tell. And I remember it would just break my heart. Like I would think that, you know, he was only saying it because, you know, he was on his substance or whatever. And in some way, like sometimes he was, sometimes he wasn't. But first of all, don't be that person to somebody else. You know, go deal with your problems, go to therapy, figure out what's going on. And I know that hits men a lot harder because it's really hard for a lot of men to find places
a lot of men are
to talk
kind
about
of
their feelings.
they're kind of like, I don't need a therapist. That's for girls.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't
Not
realize
true.
you're not getting chicks because you're so
Yeah.
unemotionally
You would
intelligent.
literally get
Yeah.
a girl faster if you just went to therapy once a week. You don't even have to tell anyone. You can literally keep your headstrong attitude and be like, I don't like therapy. Like, fuck that.
But
and secretly go to therapy every Monday night. Like,
yeah, because when you are like more emotionally aware of why you're acting a certain way, you will be so much better to be around, because a lot of men don't, this is me generalizing, so this isn't all men, but there's a lot, and I've seen it with my brothers too. They don't know how to deal with certain things, and then they go about blaming the world for it. They become bitter. They blame it on women. And there's a lot of women who are not great people who should also go to therapy, I think. But there's a lot of women who they will always believe they're right because they can't. There's so many people who can't take accountability in their life.
People don't.
You need
like
to learn
take
how to say sorry. Like, I have been humbled so many times, and there's still times where I really bite the bullet, and I'm like, I have to say sorry. It's brutal, especially with my mom.
Yeah,
I don't want to say sorry. But it's so much better because that's what life's about. You're gonna flop. You're gonna mess up, bro. Like, stop trying to be that guy who's always right.
Just go to therapy.
Yeah.
For me, I never went to therapy, but I did have a mental coach specific to sports because I struggled with anger issues all my life. I got that from my dad. Shout out. So I have anger issues, and I would meet with my mental coach, and I hated her. Because she was one step ahead of me every time. She'd have me journal every single day, and I wouldn't journal. The day I go to my mental coach, I think it was every Tuesday, I would sit in the parking lot before going in, fake the entire journal, like I filled it out whole week, hand it to her. She'd scroll through it. You did this all in the car. And I'd be like, no, I didn't. And she'd be like, yeah, you did. She knew. She was one step ahead of me, always pissed me off. And she worked with me and completely transformed how I approach situations. And now, and people love to be like, I wish I could be like Lauren. She's like, doesn't care about anything. She's like zen, nonchalant, like whatever. That's because in my brain, I go through a process, and it's fast now because I worked on it for so long. But working through my own anger issues helped me be happier. I'm a happier person now. I'm no longer depressed. I'm no longer by myself and feeling alone, because now I can take accountability for things. I can understand why I'm angry at certain situations. I have breathing exercises, everything. So it's very similar to therapy. I talk about.
Oh yeah.
It was very similar to therapy, but my friends knew, like, if I was going to see my mental coach, I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see her.
That's the thing about therapy. There's a lot of times where you do not want to go.
No.
Because if you do it right, you're not going to like it, because it's going to reveal everything you don't like about yourself.
Exactly. She knew more about me than I knew about myself.
Yeah. Like, we were talking about problems with my dad, how I felt a lot of contempt against my brothers because I felt like I was pinned against them. And these are things that you don't want to talk about because they make you realize you're a quote bad person, because
a flawed person.
Yeah, you're flawed and you have these problems with you.
Yeah, it literally highlights all your flaws and throws it all in your face at once.
And that's how you kind of learn to, like, step by step, like, this is something that I really want to work on. So I worked on my social anxiety for a while, and then I worked on my problems where I was also someone with anger issues. And then I worked on, like, you take the extra step, and over time, you, even just talking about it with anybody will get you somewhere. And that's the other thing. You can't beg people to go to therapy, because they'll go and they'll realize, and if they don't, they don't. I've tried.
You've tried.
But
we have a lot of friends who we think need therapy.
Do
And
they-
we try to help them.
Do they not want to go to therapy?
A lot of them are men.
A lot of them are men who think they're better than that. And that they don't need therapy. But I don't know. Sometimes even therapy is covered by medical insurance.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
So there's that half of it where there's like a societal, and I totally understand, societal expectation. For me, I can't understand it because I didn't really grow up with like a dad. So I don't understand. That sounds so emo.
Wow. You're so
No,
deaf.
but my dad was in the military for the first half of my life. Second half, my parents got divorced and he moved.
Flop.
So Flop City. I love him though. And I've forgiven him for a lot of the problems in my childhood. But basically, so I didn't grow up with that dad which is normally the guy who puts the stereotypes for men in your household, right? So I didn't understand that.
It was a girl house.
Yeah, it was a girl house. My mom she was the matriarch, I'll tell you that. And basically, so I didn't understand that, but then I started meeting and becoming friends with a lot of these guys, and I realized, wow, this really sucks. Like, your dad's telling you this and this and this. That's not like
they'll
real.
put them down.
Yeah. The only person like that is my granddad. My granddad's very misogynist.
Oh, we love granddad.
My
though.
granddad, he has a cigar room. My granddad smokes cigars, wonder where I get it from. But it's basically, he was in there smoking his cigars. I was in there with my girls, and he was like, girls, do not touch the cigar box. If I find out any of you even touch the box, I'm going to be pissed. He was dead ass. He
wasn't mad because we were going to smoke. He was mad because we're women and we shouldn't
smoke cigars.
We shouldn't smoke cigars.
Yeah.
That's for men.
That's a
very interesting guy.
I love him pieces, though. Shout out Buzzy.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of our friends, they need therapy. Not going to out them on here. That'd be really rude. But I don't know. Like, I've had friends come up to me and just casually mention that they go to therapy. I'll be like, when did you start going to therapy? 8 months ago? I'll be like, damn, okay. Good for you.
Welcome to the community.
Good for you. Yeah.
I'm curious about nicotine
Mm-hmm.
and just like substance use. Do you think you can get like the high or the feeling with just like without any substances, and why did you start in the first place?
So for me, I started smoking nicotine because personally I don't drink, and I made a vow to myself for my whole life to never touch alcohol for my own reasons. And so in order to feel like I fit in and I'm cool and I'm, a high schooler, because like kids love to drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what kids usually do. They start their first substance is a bottle of wine they stole from their parents, and they're all drinking it together in someone's room at a sleepover.
Yeah.
I never experienced that. I jumped straight to nicotine because I'm like, okay, I'm going to be different too. I'm going to be a rebel. I'm going to start smoking, thinking that's going to make me sort of fit in.
Yeah.
And so if you see me at a party, you have never seen me touch alcohol ever. But you know where you'll find me? Outside.
At the circle.
Outside at that circle, at that fire pit. That's where you'll find me, because unfortunately, if you're not like using a substance at a party, at least for me, I feel like I'm missing out, and I crave that feeling like you're talking about. Like, it's kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
And like Maggie and I, we go on a lot of adventures. We see beautiful things. We go on beautiful hikes. We see beautiful sunsets. But there's something about substances that still sort of get us going.
Yeah. The only time I could say I feel like a true like life high, you could say, is when I was kind of in my like puppy love with my boyfriend.
Oh, that's a good phase.
And
that's
then,
when I quit nicotine.
Yeah.
Is when I was in that puppy love phase with my boyfriend, my ex.
And then the other half of it would be like, for me, concerts give me that feeling for sure.
So you can find it.
Yeah, I try to avoid substance use for concerts. I've done it before, but I've tried to avoid it because I can feel that way at concerts on my own.
You don't need a substance to make it a better experience.
Yeah, and like there's certain parties where I've been like the DD, and I've actually had fun at those parties because of the fact that I have great friends or whatever. But I do think it's more difficult at these parties to not use anything. And for me, I had a very weird relationship with nicotine in the sense that my first pack of cigarettes I found on the ground. I thought that God gave them to me.
That was sophomore year, guys. She's not like this anymore.
Again, my Buzzy Krongard, my granddad.
Her granddad.
I grew up with the smell of tobacco because of the cigars. I would, every single night after dinner, my granddad would have a cigar. And I love the smell of smoke. I knew that I was always going to be a smoker.
It's horrible.
It sounds
Don't
really
say
terrible.
That on here.
It sounds really terrible, but guys, I'm just going to keep it real with you. I knew that I was always going to be a smoker. And that's why I feel like it's different, because I think a lot of people would get peer pressure and things like that. But I genuinely was like looking for it. Like, it was horrible for me.
Yeah.
And I've gotten in so many tussles with my mom. That's why I'm like openly saying this, all of this stuff, because she knows about it. She knows about my struggle with it. And that's the thing, guys. Your parents, either A, they know and they're just being that guy, or B, they don't know and they probably should know, because it's at a certain point it became a genuine problem in my life.
It's an addiction. And
it's an addiction.
It damages relationships, friendships, academics, all around happiness, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
If you've never touched substances, don't do it.
Just
like,
don't.
If someone's like, ooh, I've never tried this before, can I have one? Can I do this? Say, no, you can't. I'm not going to be the person starting your addiction journey.
100%. Like, we have rules in place for this
like,
stuff.
if someone says, can I have one? And they seem like they don't know what they're doing. I'm like, have you done this before? They say, no, I haven't. I snatch that shit back. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm not going to be the person who starts your addiction to this substance.
100%.
Because that's horrible. I would not recommend substances at all. Like, people might be like, makes me feel cool. Because that's me too. I feel cool when I use substances because I'm not a perfect person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that, like, as somebody who does all of it at the parties, I genuinely, the only difference is, especially now that I've opened up so much in who I am, I might talk a little more. And
It does help with confidence. That's why people do it. People aren't confident in themselves. And so they feel like they need, especially drinking, they feel like they need a drink to talk to people.
It makes you feel like things are less awkward because you're kind of like, you're so wasted or whatever.
But as someone who's never drank, and at every single party, I'm sober, pretty much, no drinking, I'm fine. I have a good time. It's possible. It is possible, guys. And you don't... Like, yeah, if you want to drink, that's fine. I'm not going to hate you. Like,
if someone tells me I need to be sober at the next party, I'm not going to be like, fuck you, man.
Yes.
So, bro, I'm going to keep my head up and I'm going to be like, I'm going to have a good time. Because at the end of the day, when I go out with my friends, I'll, like, not in a party, but, like, with my friend group, we have a good time and we're not doing substances.
We don't do substances.
So, it's about that, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people will use substances to allow themselves to talk to other people. Like, let's say you're interested in a guy. You take a shot, so then you have the courage to go talk to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to work on yourself. I think you need to work on yourself, and you need to be a confident person where you can go talk to the kid who's in your class who's the same age as you. He's not that different from you.
Yeah.
Go say hi. You can say hi to him without having 15 shots down.
Yeah, and the thing for me is I also think that this, like, romance that buds at these parties, which if you're in that situation, like, no offense, but I'm saying that for me personally, I would have, it's not worth it to do anything under the influence. Even if you don't, like, look forward and regret it, and I don't shame anyone who has done this before because I've been there, but I think that if you really want to know my opinion, it's so much better when I was, like, it was two sober people who just had genuine connections.
Like,
that was so beautiful.
Having, like, people love to be drunk and, like, kiss people and stuff, and that's great. But, like Maggie's saying, having a beautiful connection with someone and just, you know, going to the beach and watching sunset and having a little peck there is way better. And you're going to remember it, and it's going to be good. And you're going to probably like that person more than if you just make out with them when you're both drunk at a party and then never talk to them again.
Do relationships follow after the party? Like,
sometimes
after you
I've
make
seen
up?
some of them. Yeah.
I've had my fair share of like situationship kind of things where it's like at every party, like, I know there's that guy that I can go to and, like, have a little fling with, but it's not like you can't, it doesn't work long term. It's fun for the short term, and it's fun to do, but long term it's not going to work
unless you've been, like, doing stuff before the party.
If you're, like, a cute couple,
but if it's,
going
like,
to the party,
from the party, like, I don't think so.
No, and from personal experience, it's never worked out.
Yeah, because you know the reason why this stuff happens at these parties, because these people get horny. Like, that's it. Like, it's not about, like, the true, like, if it's from the party, it's literally because it feels different and people want to connect, and it makes you feel less insecure, and it does all this other stuff. And like I said, I don't shame anybody who's been there because it's fun. Like,
and
it's
we've
lit.
all been there.
Yeah.
Like, Maggie and I have been there. Like, it's fun.
We're not judging, but I think as I'm getting, like, as an older woman, especially going into college where I know this is going to happen to me, I genuinely prefer the long route, even though it is so tiresome.
It is gruesome, but, you know, going on a date with a guy is way better than just dwelling for him at a party and staring at him across the room.
Yeah, and getting in your head about it. Because also that's the other thing, when you use substances, you're probably going to get really in your head about it.
Yeah, and then it can backfire and you could just end up crying in the corner.
We've seen that too.
We've seen a lot of people go down. They're down
in the corner.
They're down in the corner.
Head in their hands.
Head in their hands. Silent. Sitting there for hours.
Probably maybe a little puddle of water in front of them.
Yeah.
And not throw up.
Not good. ...
Yeah,
so I don't know. Not that party kisses and a little fun at a party isn't good, because it's always fun, but I have, again, sophomore, junior friends who like are only looking for, like, a boyfriend when they're at a party.
You're not gonna find them there.
It's not gonna work.
Does it happen after you have substances? Because I was telling Kyber about this, like, the past 2 parties I went to, like, I don't drink or, like, do any substances, and my libido just dropped. Like, I just saw everyone and I was like, this is everyone's just like, because I feel like there's like a part of me is like, why is everyone like being so social now, or like mingling and
no,
stuff?
no,
You'll
100%.
look around, you'll be like, damn, all of a sudden everyone's friends. Like,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's the one thing about being sober at a party that you have to just, I guess, handle and you have to have like a group of people to go to is you will like, this sounds, again, I'm being like that guy, but like you have to there's like like a curtain, honestly, that's kind of pulled over everything, like rose tinted glasses, and you feel like you're kind of watching people who are in like a cage. I don't know, maybe that's
yeah,
just
Yeah,
me.
no,
I
that's
feel
true.
that, yeah.
No,
For me, like when I know I'm not doing anything at a party, I sort of know I know who at the party won't be doing things as well, just off of pattern.
Mhm.
Like I know I can probably go to this one guy and he's gonna be sober, and I can have a peaceful sober conversation with him.
Yeah,
It's kind of nice.
like that's
There are people
yeah.
there who aren't doing substances, and no, I guarantee not a single person is being like, damn, like Lauren isn't drinking tonight. Like, does she think she's so cool and different?
Yeah, no.
No one's
Yeah.
thinking that.
I honestly respect a lot of the sober people there, because especially somebody who has walked around, as the crazed one or whatever, they always take it like a champ.
They do.
And
Because when a drunk person comes up to you and you're sober, woo,
it is a
It's
ride
a-
and a half.
it's a ride and a half. And
Yeah, and they've always been really chill. And sometimes I that's the thing.
Shout out Adam Fox.
Yeah, I rarely get the Sunday scaries. I've gotten it once.
What-
So it's
like,
apparently it's like
Regret.
regrets in
It's
the
like
next day.
after a party, you wake up and you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's the other
Oh,
thing.
no.
Some of these people don't know how to drink, and I'm not gonna, for legal reasons, I've never drank before. But I've seen some kids get out in the field. What are you guys doing? Like, if you are young and you're going to these parties, you're 16, you're 17, or you haven't drank before,
You're 18.
please drink at home with your friends somewhere.
At the
Then
sleepover.
come to the party, because there's so many people walking in there who don't know their tolerance. And I hope this is not to make anyone feel bad, but I hope that like the older people feel responsible for you. At least I
kinda
do.
scary. Like,
It
if I
makes
see
us really scared.
If I see a drunk 15, 16-year-old walking around, I keep my eye on her the entire night.
Especially because there's older guys who will prey on you. Like, sorry, especially if you're a girl, they're gonna prey on you.
Not Parker parties specifically. Just
Yeah,
in general.
just in general, these parties, they're gonna prey on you. It's not a good habit to get into. I don't think anybody at any party should get wasted to the point where they're crawling on the ground. Like, I've never thrown up because of substances, period.
Yeah, Maggie's done it right.
You have to learn your tolerance. Don't push it. Don't try and be different. You're not going to be cool if you're, wasted on the ground. And that's not to say people who've done that are less than or whatever.
Yeah, no, if I see, like, one of my friends gone, right, they drank too much, I'm not shaming them. Usually I'm never taking videos of them. I do specifically for one guy. But,
He likes them.
but he
Okay.
likes watching them. But, like, I'm not shaming you. I'm not, like, making a big deal. I'm taking care of you.
Yeah.
And we're getting you home. Like,
The big thing is, yes, you're safe. You've got a ride home. That's that. But the only thing that irks me is if they do it every single party. You should learn from the
Yeah.
first time. Don't push it the next
that's
time,
how you're
bro.
going to get banned. That's when people don't like you.
Yeah.
That's when, like, if you do it once, twice, whatever.
It's like, okay, we're
It's
here
like
for
whatever.
you.
It's kind of fun. Like, okay,
And sometimes
if
it's
you're
a
having your-
genuine mistake.
Yeah, and you're having your little, like, party era, right? But if you're every single time,
It
come
looks
on.
really weak-minded, because it means that you didn't learn from your mistakes, and like, who
yeah,
likes that?
you didn't
bro?
grow.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's us on our high horse, but
Yeah, we think we're so cool.
yeah, we
we're
think
so
we're so
diff.
elite. Yeah, we're
Because we're seniors now. No.
no, I have a lot to learn, and I think in college I'm definitely gonna make a couple mistakes,
Yeah,
and I know that I'm gonna push the limit at least a couple times, but that's life.
yeah,
You get there.
and I know that after the 4 years of college, I'll be a completely different person because I'll grow even more and transfer
Beautiful.
more. And I'll probably look back at videos of myself senior year and be like, "What was I doing?
Yeah, for sure.
What was going on? Like, why did I do that? Or regret? Or yeah, that's what I try to avoid regret. That's why I like to call it life maxing. Every single day I'm going out. So then I never feel like I regretted not doing enough because I'm always doing probably too much.
For sure.
Yeah, but you also have to know your limits. Like, if you don't want to go out while your friends are, don't get FOMO. Like, you don't need to be like, oh, they're hanging out without me. Enjoy being in your bed. Enjoy watching a movie. scrolling
Yeah.
their phone, taking a
'Cause
nap.
nobody cares what
Nobody
you're
cares.
doing.
Like-
Nobody's like, oh my God, you're at home.
No, for about the first 5 minutes, I'm like, gosh, like, I wish Brianna was here, right?
Yeah.
Like, why? I get kind of annoyed. I'm like, Psh, she's like at home doing nothing. Like, she should be hanging out. She just doesn't want to see me. And then I'm like, Brianna's probably watching a movie in bed, enjoying her night. And I'm going to enjoy my night in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great.
Mm.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is different about being a girl versus being a boy, or like, yeah?
For what?
In this like stage of high school, or like
Well-
in general, being like,
Kind of just throughout life.
well, there's the it girl pyramid.
It girl pyramid. All the girls know it. If you don't know it, it's in your head. You just don't know it.
Yeah, you just don't realize.
Make a triangle with your hands. You think about that. Okay.
There's a
Yeah.
peak.
So every girl has their own it girl pyramid, and it's what you think or who you think the coolest person at said high school is. Okay? And this pyramid, it's not like everyone talks about it. It's in your own head. Maggie and I, we have a very similar it girl pyramid. That's probably why we're best friends.
Mhm.
You might think the coolest girl ever at the top is completely different than someone else. But whoever that coolest girl is, no matter what, you're like in the back of your mind, you're comparing yourself to her. You see her in the halls, you're kind of looking at her. What shoes is she wearing today? What's she doing? Like, you're looking at her, you're stalking her Instagram. You're going through her highlights. You're checking who she has
You're like
tagged.
a toxic ex.
Okay, you're like a toxic ex, and it's not like you want to be her, but you just, something about her makes her cool. And that's the it girl pyramid. So you would start at the bottom, and the goal is to get to the top.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, it's like social climbing, right?
It is social climbing.
And so it's not, like you said, it's not real, but it really helps you like lock the hell in.
Like, people need to stop thinking that social climbing is bad, because when someone's desperate for attention, that's when it's bad. But if you're just, it takes years. If you're slowly evolving and being cool, then eventually, in your own mind, you'll be that girl.
And being popular isn't
It's
like
not, being the it girl is not being popular.
It's
not
being, like,
at all.
so authentic to where other people can feel it. Like, there was the it girl on my it girl pyramid for a very long time. We're actually enemies. Like, we hate each other.
Yeah, and she's older.
She absolutely hates me.
To this
I
day.
absolutely hate her. We have beef. I tried to settle the beef. It's
Yeah,
never
she
going to be
unfollowed us
settled.
on Instagram.
She unfollowed
doesn't
us on
like
Instagram. It's very messy, right? But I still consider her like an icon.
We still
because
stalk.
she's so authentic. She's so real, and I'm never gonna like act like oh, she was never cool. No, she was. She is. Like I'm looking at her Instagram. I'm like, damn, like she is. Like, she may not be, for me, but like.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I hate when people like, especially this happens with girls in like relationships all the time, where it's like it didn't work out, right? And they're like, oh no, she was chopped. She was horrible. No, she wasn't, bro. You were in that. You were in that. Like,
you liked her for a while. Like, you were saying that was the one. That's your wife.
like, just respect the person. Get with it. There's sometimes where you might genuinely find out, okay, this person's a little, like, they're not as true as they seem to be. Give them some time. They'll probably get there. But that's different than being, like, this, like, totally shutting someone off. Because I've seen so many people in our grade grow into, like, really dope people who I used to be enemies with.
They used to hate us.
Yeah,
and
they
now
used
we're
to hate
chill.
us, too.
And we don't have beef.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's kind of beautiful. It's like, oh, this kid's talking to me who literally talked smack about me in 7th grade, and now we're just like homies. So it's like,
now we're hanging.
all right. It's a senior vibe. I don't
Uh-huh.
know. One thing that I like to do to pretend I'm my own it girl is have a public Instagram account.
Oh, the
Public
public
Instagram
spam.
account, and then a public spam account. Maggie and I decided, everyone has a spam account. All the girls have spam accounts. Guys, some do, but
Some don't.
for this is all for girls. Having a public spam account is a scary thing. Okay, I checked my what's it called
The businesses?
analytics.
Yeah.
I checked the analytics the other day. I had in the last 90 days, I think 60,000 views.
On the public because it's linked in the main account.
Yeah, you tag it. I think I have like, I don't know how many followers, like 150 followers. I probably have so many eyes watching, and it's not like, oh, I think I'm so cool or anything, but it's literally proof that people are watching and trying to evolve, and there's gotta be a girl out there who thinks I'm cool.
Yeah.
And stalks my Instagram, my spam
I
account,
did that.
and doesn't follow.
What
Like-
are like the characteristics of like being an it girl.
I think
It's different for everyone. That's why
Yeah.
it's all in your head. But and everyone has their own it girl.
like for me,
It's being authentic.
dude, I'll name drop her. Polly, she was class of 2023.
That's
She knows
crazy.
she knows that we have beef because of what happened with Isaac. Like, let's just keep it a buck. But to this day, I would say this to her face. She knows what the fuck she's doing because she dresses according to like her style. Her music taste is great.
Yeah, even her prom dress was like way different than other girls.
And that, like, especially when I was younger, before the beef started my sophomore year, it started to, like, I realized it my junior year, early junior year, late sophomore year, but my sophomore year I spent a lot of time, like, totally idolizing her. And I thought she was so cool. I didn't want to be friends or anything. I just liked looking at her outfits.
It's cool to be inspired by someone.
And I just loved how she made me want to be better. I wanted to have the cool outfits. I wanted to break the dress code at school. I wanted to listen to cool music, and I wanted to hang out with those guys she was friends with. And then I was started to be like, I want those guys to realize, like, I'm just like you guys, like, because I thought those were my people.
She wanted to be that girl. Maggie wanted to be that girl.
I really did. And to this day, I don't know if I've gotten there, but
we're not
I feel
there.
like
We're not there. We're maybe medium.
Yeah.
I think we're here now.
Yeah.
But, like, something that I love about Maggie, and sort of, like, we always talk about our it-girl triangle, is it's not toxic. Like, we're not out here, like, trying to be, like
shitting on people or anything.
Like hating on people and, like, only wanting to be skinny and only wanting to be, like, pretty and stuff like that. It's about being authentic, being cool, and being inspired by others. And that's what the pyramid is. And I could not list, besides the pyramid, it's not like I'm ranking girls. There's no girls
there's like
ranked.
a general idea.
It's like a big blob and then the very top.
Yeah. And the bottom of the pyramid isn't a bad place to be. It's just people who
People
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, or
I can't see it in them, and I'm not there.
They haven't found who they are yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our take. But for boys, completely different. We have a lot of guy friends.
Sure.
Maggie and I, we didn't really have guy friends until probably our junior year. But having guy friends in the mix is really fun.
It's been lit.
It's been great because Maggie and I, we are a little bit more, I don't know, I'd literally use the word rambunctious. As Amber Mills said, you guys are like a bunch of boys.
Oh, yeah.
Sophomore year, because we were loud and obnoxious.
The golden ruler.
And she just snapped one day and she was like, you guys act like you're a bunch of middle school boys and you're girls. Like, grow up.
Yeah, it was messed up,
so
man.
For us, we love guy friends. We love being one of the boys.
Yeah. Like, I'll probably say it. I mean, I grew up with two brothers. I will have arm wrestles. I will do everything.
Literally, middle of dinner, Maggie will start arm wrestling one of our friends, one of the guys. I'll be like, what the hell's going on? I'll record. Who's going to win? Like,
I was so close. Cody, it's over for you.
Cody,
next time I've been training my arms, it's fucking over for you, man.
Yeah, but for guys, I think a lot of them strive to be cool, but they're also, they struggle. They're on their own with their own things. And a lot of it we can't understand because we're girls, but a lot of it we do understand, especially since we're not stereotypical girls. So, I don't know, like, anyone on here can be like, wow, Lauren and Maggie, they think they're so cool.
But here's the thing, like, because we're self-aware of it, like, we don't gas.
Yeah, we don't
like,
care, and we think we're cool. Sorry. Like, we're confident and free. We're free of the Parker stereotypes and the Parker bubble. Maggie has red hair. She walks around with red hair. We walk around with her nails. I mean, Miss Ondine literally was like, commented on my nails the other day, how they're distracting. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, like, sometimes you just gotta break free of the Parker bubble.
Yeah,
and be your own
stifling.
person.
It's genuinely like, it's like hot air.
Yeah, and if you want to be a stereotypical girl at Parker, go for it. No one's gonna hate you. Yeah, they're actually gonna like you more. And you're gonna be more comfortable than if you try to be different.
Yeah, Parker hates a lot of the people who don't fit into
Parker
strict
Parker
boundaries.
you weren't allowed to dye your hair. Remember, that was a rule.
Yeah, so
you couldn't have a beard, and you couldn't have a beard. Like, guys couldn't grow facial hair, and no one could have colored hair.
Shout out to I think he was a sick person, like, who wore a turban, who broke the rule on the beard. Shout out him. You'd think he was in my brother's grade.
Yeah, class of 2022. Yeah. I remember that guy. Yeah, so I don't know. Guys definitely struggle with their own things a lot that we don't understand, but we love our guy friends, and we've seen a lot of struggles that we sort of didn't know about. And I think guys are a lot more emotional than they like to think they are. And that's wraps back to therapy. Tap into that therapy, boys.
At least like the school therapist. Like I promise you, like it's lit. Like you can drop whatever
Miss Morales,
you want.
Miss Morales is not evil. Like you guys love to hate on that woman and be like, yeah, whatever.
No,
like
I cried in that office.
Who would go to the school counselor? Me. I'm in there.
Girl, she has stim items in her office.
Yeah, you go there. Like
you get a hug,
guys,
you get some food.
If you ever want to skip class, send her an email. Say, I need to see you. You could sit in there and not talk to her for an hour and skip that class and get it excused.
Yeah. But just know, once you start talking, she will, like, break you open. Like,
she'll break you open.
She'll have you tearing up at that couch.
Yeah, I've cried on her couch, and it's a beautiful thing because...
Yeah. Sweet release, man.
Yeah. And
That's
she'll
really
give you a
nice.
hug at the end. It's a good hug.
I actually wanted to ask about what do you think crying is for, and, like, when do you guys cry?
Oh, very, very different.
Yeah, very.
Maggie's very emotional. I'm very emotionless.
Oh,
yeah.
Apathetic.
Apathetic. I count how many times I cry per year. Right now in 2025, we're at 4 times I've cried. That's it.
I cry very often. I will cry at things when I'm really happy.
When she's frustrated.
When I'm frustrated. Yes, when I'm frustrated. When I'm mad, I'm an angry crier. I cry when I argue with people, because I'm like sensitive to yelling. I cry if I think too hard about something. I'll cry if a commercial's too sad. I'm very emotionally in tune, and I used to be really ashamed of it. My mom used to like, because my mom was the same way. She was a crier, and so she would project onto me her insecurities about crying too much. She'd say, Maggie, you need to stop crying. You need to stop crying. Obviously, that does nothing. So
yeah,
I actually got a tattoo in honor of it. It's a Camus quote in French.
On your leg.
Yeah, on my leg.
It's new. Show him.
It means like live to the point of tears, which is dual meaning for me, which is about how like I cry a lot and I'm not ashamed to be someone. It's not like a like an identity thing, but like I don't want to ever feel again that I can't cry about something, which is one part of it, the tears, and then also just living to the point of crying for me is just like living the fullest. I know if I didn't cry in my life, I would not be living.
Literally, I've literally texted Maggie before and be like, trying to cry tonight, because I try to be more free like that. And so it just shows how we're completely different. I'll literally text her, listening to sad music right now, I'm trying to cry. Yeah. And I can't, and I'm just like, I want to cry sometimes because it feels good. It feels good. It's a nice release, and it's what humans are meant to do. And pretending that crying is bad is just showing that you don't quite get it yet.
Yeah.
I can't, for some reason, I can't really cry by myself. Like,
that's hard. It's hard for me too.
Yeah.
Like your own problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can think of every single reason why I've cried. I've cried once because I was frustrated, and I've cried about other people. That thing, but it's kind of hard. It's hard, and it's partially because like maybe how you were brought up as a kid. That's why you're the way you are. Why you cry so much. Why you don't cry. Like for me in my house, if you cried, like you're a pussy. Stop crying.
Yeah, that's my house too.
Stop crying. Like stop crying. So I just learned don't cry. So I don't know. It's different for everyone.
Yeah, for me it just didn't work. Like, it was
she just kept crying.
Yeah, we have a very crying household.
Yeah, no one cries in my household.
And it was hard because my mom actually cries like a ton, but she hid it from us.
Horrible.
So I've never seen her cry before, but everyone would tell me, oh, she cries a lot. And that was really difficult.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like once you understand that like crying is not a bad thing, it's great. That's something Maggie and I are also very open about. Like,
we've cried in front of each other. It's been brutal.
We've cried a lot in front of each other. I've been crying so much I can't stop crying, and I've had to go hang out with Maggie to stop crying.
Yeah, because even when we're both in a bad mood, it takes like 15 minutes. We're both back up. Like,
yeah, no, like I've picked up Maggie. I can think of a specific moment a few weeks ago. Okay, we had to drive. We had to drive up to Lizzie's house to prepare for the senior skip day party because we were helping her throw. And I drive up to Maggie's house. She's staying on the curb, mad as hell. She looks pissed. I'm like, what's she doing? I get a car. She's all pouty. I'm like, okay, what's your deal? 3 minutes later, boom, she's happy.
I'm skipping.
She's
I'm
happy. She's like, I'm so glad I'm here. We got Chipotle after. Like,
it was so nice. It was
actually a really great day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Part of like what I think about is like going to college without Maggie. And my mom, when we were going through college process, one of the questions she asked me was, what's Maggie doing? Do you want to go with Maggie to college? Like, even Miss Morales, the school counselor, was like, how are you going to do when you and Maggie separate? And it's always a hard topic because
it does make us a bit emotional.
It does. We do get down about that. But we have grown so much together, and I know that, like, it's already sort of starting. Maggie and I, since we both know where we're going for college, we both started texting people from our schools. So she started texting people from Fordham. I started texting people from Santa Clara. And then we come back and we tell the stories we've heard. And it's really fun.
Yeah. And I think that what I really like about our friendship is I know that if you had tried to go where I was going, or if I had tried to go where you were going, we'd be pretty pissed at each other.
We tried. I told Maggie I was going to early decision to LMU, so she applied to LMU.
I did apply to LMU.
And then I ended up switching an early decision to Santa Clara, where I'm going in the fall. But I had if I didn't get into Santa Clara, one of the next schools I was applying to was Fordham. And I'd already filled out the application. I just had to click submit.
And it was going to be Lauren and Maggie University at LMU.
Yeah. So she applied to try to apply to the school I was going to. Same. But it's not like I wanted to go to Fordham. Yeah. I just wanted to be by Maggie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we both knew that, like, we wanted different things. And I know that if Lauren had tried to follow me, or if I had tried to follow her, it would have been, like, a really real conversation about, like, bro, like, what are we actually doing right now, you know?
Yeah.
I know that anywhere we go, we would have been happy together, right? But it's about, like, we are so different. And we literally like being on different coasts. Like she says, she couldn't live in New York. No. I couldn't live.
No. And maybe in the future, I will move to where Maggie's living because I love her so dearly.
Yeah.
But for now,
I would love to raise our kids together. Like, we probably will both be back in San Diego.
Yeah, we probably will live wherever each other are. And like people are like, oh, they're seniors now. They think lives could be so good. But I think once we get that matching tattoo, we're locked in.
I'm very hopeful about it.
Yeah. One thing I started doing at parties to try to see how it is living without Maggie. Because Maggie and I, we always show up to the party together. We always leave together. There's never a party that we don't hang out before and after. Mm-hmm. During the party, I don't know if Maggie even notices this, is I try to leave her sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And we try to separate on purpose. And people would be like, where's Maggie? I don't know. I haven't seen that girl in 2 hours. Don't ask me.
Oh, yeah. And because I'm a wanderer.
She wanders and I sit. I sit at the fire pit. I look at my phone. It's 8 p.m. I look again. It's midnight. I'm sitting in the same spot. I haven't moved. Maggie's gone everywhere. Oh. And so it's great because at the end of the night, I know I'm going to go home with Maggie. Yeah. Not in like a freaky way.
No more rumors.
No more lesbian rumors.
Yeah,
but
bro.
The lesbian rumors, they were kind of extreme at one point.
No, it's
but like, we know that, like, I know that Maggie's having fun and I'm having fun, and us being able to just do our own thing and I don't have anxiety. Like, oh my God, where's Maggie? She's out of my sight. I don't know where she is. Mm-hmm. That just proves that we can do it.
Yeah, like, it's fine and we're chill, and it's funny because it's like we have double stories. You know?
Yeah, we double the lore because I'm like, what were you doing tonight? And I hear about it, and then she tells me what. I tell her what I was up to, and it's really fun. So, and also, like, what I'd like to say on this podcast is not having, like, if you don't have a best friend, like I have Maggie and Maggie has me, it's not a bad thing. Like, and I've heard people say, like, they feel like they're missing out because in high school they didn't find that person, or that person left them and they had a falling out with their best friend. It's really sad and it's really hard, and there's no, like, good way to go around it. But you don't need a best friend to have fun. And like, I've been the filler friend before. I've been the friend where, like, everyone's sitting at a lunch table, there's no more space, and no one scoots over for me, and I have to leave. Like, I've been the friend who, like, no one cares about, and I still made it. And it's not like, oh, now I have Maggie, mission complete.
Yeah.
Because, like, if Maggie and I didn't meet and we weren't friends, I would still be having a good time in high school, and it's still possible, and you don't need a ride or die to have a good time.
Yeah. It's just lit if you do.
It is, because, like, people, we have a lot of group chats where it'll be us two and then a third person, and the third person will text in the group chat, be like, I wish I had someone like you have each other.
Yeah.
And like it's real.
Like, completely different.
Yeah, it's real, and like, I relate because I was the person who was the filler friend or the flower friend or had no friends.
For me too.
And it's hard. Sometimes it's better. Like, sometimes it's just better to just do your own thing sometimes and just figure out who you are and I don't know. A lot of times friendships don't work out. We've had a lot of falling outs with people.
Yeah.
And a lot of old best friends that both of us have had. But, like, it's going to be okay. Like, you're going to move on and you're going to go to college and you have a new opportunity to make friends.
When it comes to crying, like, in front of each other,
Mm-hmm.
do you think about how you sound or, like, how you look when you're crying?
In front of Maggie, no. But also, I'm not crying that often.
What's really hard for me, I guess, is I still have kind of like a complex when it comes to crying in front of people. In front of Lauren, I definitely feel like the safest or whatever.
Yeah, I don't cry in front of my other friends.
I can't think of many times that I've cried in front of her, though. It's mainly been with other people where I'm just like,
yeah, because I don't cry that often, so it's not like we're like always crying together.
But it's really hard for me to see my friends crying because
then she starts crying.
So it's like, oh my god, it makes me so sad. Oh, it makes me so sad. Especially like I remember one of my guy friends, he was crying, and that's brutal.
Seeing a guy friend cry is probably the most heartbreaking thing.
I hope they know, like, nobody's judging you. It's just really sad.
It's also a lot of people. If a guy is crying at a party, everyone's looking because of how, like, covered up guys crying is.
Yeah.
Like, I still can't think of a time where I've seen my dad cry. So, like, seeing a guy at a party or out in public cry, everyone's looking at him because they're like, well, guys do cry. Guys do have those emotions.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Do you get sad when other people cry because, like, you feel for them, or is it just like...
I don't cry when I see other people cry.
For
me,
me,
I don't get to either.
I don't know why TikTok had to make this a joke about being empathetic, about being an empath or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know they
I think it's because, like, I'm a really visual person. I love art and I think in, like, pictures or whatever. So when I see someone crying, I immediately, like, envision why they are, and then I get, like, in their head, and then I feel just as bad. So, like, for example, like, when Lauren's car crashed, and
June 14th, 2024.
Yeah, and she was crying, obviously.
We shut down the 56.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was not my fault.
It was not her fault at all.
But
I remember it was
$40,000 worth of damages
in a brand new Audi.
In my car.
So
the other car got totaled.
Yeah, when she was crying, what I immediately came to my head was, imagine if that was my car. And imagine if that was
she puts herself into the other person's
and it's really good for when I'm talking to someone about something deep. But, like, with something like that, I mean, I get really emotional really quickly, and I start to feel, like, just horrible. And it will weigh on me for a while until the person has cleared it up.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like, oh my god, that's so sweet of her, whatever. But it's actually kind of a burden. Like, I feel like I'm carrying a lot of other people's problems.
You do. A lot of times Maggie's the therapist friend.
And so there was people I was friends with who had, like, severe mental health problems, and they obviously would come to me and I would listen, but I started carrying their problems with me. I was carrying their overdoses. I was carrying their addiction. I was carrying their familial problems because I was trying to fix it, and you just can't. Because
you're trying to, you want the best for your friends, but, like, if you give someone advice over and over, and low-key is the same advice every time, and they still don't take it.
And they're asking for it,
and they keep, Lauren, what do I do now? Blah, blah, blah. Lauren, what do I do now? Blah, blah, blah. Same thing over and over, and they don't do it. Eventually, you get pissed off, and you're like, why are you doing this?
And then I just start saying, like, bro.
Yeah, and then we start not caring.
Yeah. And then it's over at that point once you don't care about somebody.
But, like, we've done it all. We've seen it all. But I think crying with another person or seeing another person cry is such a vulnerable thing. And it brings people together. Like, my closest friends, I've seen them all cry. And that's partially why they're my closest friends, is because they don't care what they look like in front of me. And they don't feel like they need to mask who they are in front of me.
For sure.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes from a movie is, like, have you guys watched Good Will Hunting?
Oh, I need to watch that.
How have you not watched
Really
it?
good.
I thought for sure.
It's always on my list.
Neither of
It's a
us have
really
watched.
good movie.
Okay, we'll add it to our list.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's basically the main character has a lot of, like, childhood problems, and then, like, in a scene where he's like talking with the therapist, and he just starts, like, crying, and like Matt Damon is just like the sound that's coming out of his mouth is just, it's like,
yeah,
kind of crying. I'm like, oh my god, man.
That's just how it is. Like, there's so many people where I've seen them actually have, like, a total breakdown.
Yeah, Maggie's seen me have a panic attack before.
Oh yeah, I've had a panic attack before at school.
Oh, having a panic attack at school, worst thing ever.
It's
Like
so
physically, you feel it.
Yeah,
everything.
I had a panic attack. I couldn't stop crying. And my mom, who's my like contact at school, because I could drive, so I could have just driven home, but they wouldn't let me leave. And my mom was on a plane, so she obviously couldn't call me out. And so they're like, "Sorry, babe. Like, I'm like crying in the front office. Like, can't catch my breath. Please let me go home. I can't be here anymore. Sorry, babe. Like, your mom's on a plane. We can't help." So, I don't know.
It's literally brutal.
But I've cried in front of people who I wish I didn't, and I've cried in front of teachers I wish I didn't. And so now I see those teachers, I'm like, oh, awkward.
Yeah, that happened to me my junior year. I was so burnt out. I was technically taking 5 APs.
She's taking all APs.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I had 5 APs and like an honors course because my mom is very education based, and I'm not allowed to have a free period. I've never had a free period in my life, and so she filled up the whole schedule, right? And
So she had no moments to relax, and you were in a relationship.
And I was in this crazy ass relationship where he was equally as stressed because he was a senior and so
Trying
he was
to get
applying
into
to colleges.
college.
So imagine that you got your 5 AP junior and then your senior applying to colleges. And I remember this one time I just broke down in the back of my pre-calculus class, and it was just,
And she ran out.
Yeah, the teacher came over to me and was like, "Are you okay?" I love Miss Falcone. She's an angel, by the way. But she came over to me and she was like, "Are you okay?"
And then that made you start crying.
And then I just totally broke down. I started running. Like,
yeah, no,
I don't know what's going on.
One thing that I helped do for the school is, because I've had a panic attack at school and Maggie's had a panic attack at school, is now in the A building, if you go past college counseling, there's a quiet room. I call it the STEM room. They play nice music in there. It's dark. There's beanbags and slime. Most people don't know about this. There is a STEM room at Parker, and you don't have to have like a 504 plan and be an ARC kid to use it. Anyone can go in there, and you have to leave the door open because if it's closed, they have to have a teacher in there. But there's not like a teacher in there. You can be on your phone. You can do whatever, and just relax. So that would have been nice to have last year. So I worked with the school, not just me. I'm not taking all the credit, but to get a little STEM room at Parker, and it's great because I haven't had a mental breakdown since, but I know that someone definitely has, and someone's needed a moment of silence, and now there's this little dark room at Parker up in the A building.
I love that.
And I was in there today.
I'm always there for snacks.
I was in the STEM room today, actually cramming for my math final, and it was peaceful. There was like music playing, it was dark, bean bags. I think they got fairy lights in there now. It's fun. Like 10 out of 10 recommend. Like,
what does STEM stand for?
STEM.
Oh,
Okay.
This is like an autism term.
Yeah, so STEM is an autism term, but I use it a lot. I'm not autistic.
It's for neurodivergent people in general.
Yeah,
I feel.
I am neurodivergent. Both Maggie and I are neurodivergent, and STEM is a term like where you do something that I don't know how to describe it.
Like with your hands, like anything like slime or like
like
toys.
playing with your ring,
yeah.
playing with your earring, doodling on your paper. Some people have verbal stems. So it's technically like a term for like almost like a, not like a tick, but it's something that you do that sort of like keeps you sane. Like you'll see kids like bouncing their leg in class. That's a stem. But then Maggie and I have sort of twisted the word in our own fun way. We call things like stemful. It's like slime, like playing with slime is stemful. It's like fun.
Like when you watch like those relaxing videos, like I'm stimming right now.
Yeah,
like,
so,
I'll be stimming like sometimes when I just zone out, I'm just like.
Yeah, and I forget that stimming and stem isn't like a word that people use normally, because I've gotten all my friends to start saying it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just fun. Like, and we'll have like STEM time, which is where Maggie and I don't
We have a
talk.
STEM blanket.
Yeah. We don't talk to each other, and we just both are just like on our phones.
Stimming, literally.
Stimming. Like we're just like doing our own
watching
thing.
videos and whatever.
Yeah. And we both have our phones like on like pretty loud volumes. It's like
it's like the retirement home in there, bro. Like we're sitting under the blanket, like makeup off, phone on.
Yeah, I guess it's
glasses.
like you can call it rotting, but it's
not awful.
It's not like you're sad. You're just sort of like you need a break in your day.
Yeah, like people need to like be proud to be on your phone sometimes. It's okay.
Yeah. So that's why the STEM room at Parker is so nice. It's not called the STEM room. I'm just calling it that. It's like the quiet
I think it's called the
space.
wellness room.
Yeah, the
wellness room.
But the wellness room is really nice and zen and peaceful. So that's what I call stimming.
What is the thing about like or you mentioned like Miss Falcone went up to you and said like, "Are you okay?" And then you started crying. I've noticed for me, like the few times that I cried the past 2 years is kind of like when I feel someone else like having empathy for me, or just like, or they say something and then it's like, wait, and then it kind of just like the well just opens up.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably, I mean, you could get like psychoanalyzed or whatever by me all day because I'm just really nosy, but I think that moments like that, the reason why I feel like they're so emotional kind of comes from the fact that a lot of times, especially if you're someone like me, people move through the world thinking that other people don't care. And it's hard to always kind of be secure in the fact that people do. And when you get like that proof of it, where you can tell someone like genuinely feels for you or whatever, it means so much, because it's about safety and comfort. And sometimes that's just really emotional, you know?
It is very emotional.
Yeah. Like sometimes I've cried just because like we're such good friends and I feel like it means something.
She cries so much.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm always crying. I'm not a good
a
good example, but and that's the thing, like a lot of people think women in general are very emotional. Yes, I'm very emotional, but like most of my female friends are not like me.
Yeah, like I'm not that emotional, which also comes back to bite me because I won't think about how my actions affect other people, and I'll do something that isn't right, or I'll say something about someone that isn't right to their face without thinking, because I don't care how they feel. I'm just speaking on it. And then they call me out and they're like, "Lauren, you're rude and blunt, and you need to like fix how you talk." Yeah. So that it gets messy that way, but I like that my friends, and especially Maggie, keeps me accountable and snaps back and says, "Lauren, like, don't say that." Yeah. Definitely.
Do you have to go?
No.
Okay. It's been like.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Because we're just so entertaining.
We will never shut up.
Yeah.
I listen to it though.
Yeah. I listen to all your podcasts.
I know.
Pretty much.
It's really entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, we have a good time. Like,
I wonder if anyone made it this far.
hey, welcome.
Yeah.
It's been, yeah.
Any more questions?
I'm wondering what do you guys struggle with, or like what are like your main fears in life like right now?
Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
I can start. I feel like my biggest thing to come to like terms with is this. I have had a really big fear in my life of not being an individual. I don't know if it comes from the fact that I've grown up with so many siblings around me, or like just this complex that I have or whatever, but I feel this need to always prove to everybody that I am an individual, even though the best thing to do is accept in life that you're part of a big pool of people, right? But or you just deal with the fact that like there's certain people who are going to remember you as this individual. Oh, that's another thing. I hate, that's the biggest one actually, is the idea of being forgotten. I can't handle that. I really want to be remembered very deeply, very explicitly. And that was a really hard part about when I broke up, or when me and my boyfriend broke up. I think he broke up with me actually.
Yikes.
Which was, I was so scared of he's going to forget me, and that means I'm worthless if I'm forgotten. But after we met again, he was my ex still, but like we met up and I realized
after the breakup,
a couple months after, I realized it wasn't going to work. The friendship wasn't going to work anymore. And we've stopped. I haven't talked to him.
You had
since
to let him
March.
go.
It was like March 23rd. It was a while ago, and right now it's like May 15th or something. 14th. So it's been around 2 months. IG.
I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah, and that was really hard. And sometimes I'm like, does he still remember, everything? Because I obviously do. But I've actually come to terms with the fact that maybe I don't want to be remembered by certain people because I feel like they didn't see me for who I was.
They didn't
that's
know
the
the
hard
true
part.
you.
They really, they didn't. And he also saw me at a point in my life where I don't think I deserved to be remembered. I want to be remembered for my art. I want to be remembered for the jokes I tell. And that's one thing, like, I hope people know that are friends with me. I've had some really cute moments, especially as people are getting really emotional as senior year comes to an end, where they tell me, like, Maggie was so funny about this. Or, like, they recognize, like, the patterns I have when I walk into class. Like, even in my creative writing class, Charlie and Kyber, I talked about how I walk a certain way into the classroom and I slam my water bottle down.
You
and
do.
I flop my way into my seat. And to be noticed like that and to be like seen and remembered, even if it's not remembered forever,
That's what you
that's
like.
so important to me. Or like my friend, like Cody, he'll tell me like this joke. He'll like quote a joke I said a while ago. And that
And it
means
feels good.
so much to me, yeah. That somebody remembers me for that. Even screenshotting my story, I eat that up, bro, because that means like I'm worth being remembered. And I don't want to gain my value from other people, but I will for a future time in my life, probably until I'm like in my 30s. You know, it takes a while to dismantle a lot of this stuff. But yeah, for sure, that's my biggest fear, I would say, is if I go down and there's nothing to like stay above the surface when I'm put beneath
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
For me, biggest fear, that's hard because I like to say I don't have any fears. It would probably be letting myself go and letting myself fall into like a pit of despair. Not in like a super dark way or anything, but like if I just, or looking back at time and thinking that I could have done more with the time I had. Like, not in like a relationship way, but like for high school, for example, like, yes, I was mediocre, lower bottom student. Like, I'm in the probably bottom 20% of our grade for academics, okay? I've gotten my C's, I've gotten my A's, like, mid student, and then sometimes I'll get in my head and be like, wow, why didn't I just do better? Why didn't I just try more? Why didn't I just try to get that A? Why didn't I study more? And stuff like that. And sort of like regret is probably my biggest fear, which is why I try to do so many things all at once and try to go out and create so many memories so I don't fall into that pit of despair and like, why didn't I do more things? Like, why did I stay in every Friday night? Because that's what sort of like makes me feel lost as a person, is when I reflect on my own past and realize I've done nothing with my time, which is why I really enjoy volunteering. I enjoy laughing and making memories with people. I enjoy traveling, and I'm very privileged to be able to do all these things because a lot of people don't have that privilege. But since I do have that privilege, I might as well use it and try to have fun with my time. So, yeah, I do look back at times in my life where I'll be like, wow, like I can't remember a single thing that was like important. Like, for example, probably like 2021. I look back at 2021, I'm like, what happened? What did I do that has any meaning? Nothing.
No,
Yeah.
we went to the softball tournament.
No, that was 2022.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, 2021.
Oh, 2021 was very useless.
That
I
was,
played
like-
rhythm games at lunch.
That was 8th grade to like half of freshman year.
Oh, what a joke.
You did the splits at homecoming.
That's awkward. Hopefully, I speak at graduation. My speech is about the splits.
Yeah. So
I
I don't
doubt
know.
it,
That's
though.
what my biggest fear is in life. Is just regret, which is why, like, I hope to have a family and grow my own family and stuff like that, because I'd hate to be like on my deathbed at like 70, 80 years old. Why didn't I do more? Why didn't I go on that trip? Why didn't I be spontaneous? Why didn't I ever get married? Like, letting yourself, like, explore life, flop. Explore life, flop is the best thing ever. And I don't know, that's what, like, life's about, and that's why, like, regret is my only fear in life.
Do you feel like you're deriving value from the things that you are doing, like going out or, like, actively, like, trying to create space for those memories? Or... Yeah.
Like, if you do it a lot, like, does it lose meaning?
No, never. I
Like
have
you said,
enjoyed
you've been to 9 parties.
look, 9
Oh.
weekends in a row.
9 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
And this Friday we're going to a concert.
Yeah, like my favorite thing to do right now. Okay, this is a little not scandalous, but looked down on. Is I've been speed dating guys. Okay, I'm not a bop. Okay, I'm not a bop. Okay, don't put that label on me. Okay, like it's fun. And I pushed myself. My, like, first ever date with a guy, I was so worried. I didn't know how to act. I couldn't fill the space. Like, when I was trying to talk to this guy, that's why I like speed dating. And a lot of people can't do it. They can't do it because you have to be able to talk and fill the space and meet this new person, find common interests, all in the span of like 3 hours. That's what I like about it. And I've met so many amazing guys. I have so many fun stories from it. I'll like hang out with a guy one-on-one, go on a date, first date, never hear from them again. Because they can't handle me. They can't handle like my personality. Because I don't hold back when I meet a guy on a first date. Like, I went on a first date yesterday with one guy. Today I'm going on a date with a different guy. Oops. And it's fun. Like, I'm not out here like trying to balance like a relationship, but it is fun to like, for me to like meet new people and push myself. And I've reflected on myself over the past year and like how I used to act when I was one-on-one with a guy. I don't know, it's such a weird topic for me to bring up, but like I couldn't hold a conversation. I was shy, I was timid. Now I honestly think I'm more empowered and I'm stronger, and my personality is bigger than a lot of these guys that I'm going on dates with because I'm more of a confident person. So I don't know, it's kind of fun. And I don't regret like any times I've hung out with anybody. Like every Friday, Maggie and I hang out. We always have a good time. Sometimes we have no plans.
Yeah.
We have a great time.
It's still
like,
lit.
We'll have no plans. We'll go to In-N-Out. We'll get In-N-Out. And then we'll park our car somewhere, roll down all the windows, turn up the volume all the way, blast music, and just dance.
Yeah.
Like
In the car.
No,
we'll
outside.
Like get out.
We'll get out.
We do the Irish jig.
Yeah, we do the Irish. Like, we'll just dance. We'll have a great night. Okay.
Yeah.
Or we'll do really fun things. Like
That's
this
fun.
Friday, Maggie and I are going up to LA to go to a concert. My mom has no idea.
That's the big thing. Our moms don't know about.
They don't know about all. Yeah.
So Deborah should not be watching this. She doesn't know about probably 80% of the things I've done.
Yeah, but like I'm just telling my mom, I'm sleeping over Maggie's house. I'm going up to LA.
Yeah, we've done a lot.
Yeah.
We went up to Santa Barbara one time. My mom thought I was at Lauren's.
Yeah, our moms thought we were just doing a 24-hour Love Island, like binge fest, and we'll just go.
Dude, the girls' night.
That's
It's really fun.
pretty incredible.
It's like a lot of people are like, wow, like what? Like they're just confused, but we just love making memories, and I don't know, especially when we go on like longer trips like Santa Barbara. We'll do things called day and night shift. So Maggie takes day shift, which means she drives in the day. We'll, like for LA, we'll probably drive at like 5, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
She'll drive us there. I mean, she doesn't know that yet, but I'm just telling you. She's gonna. I
Yeah.
know she's gonna drive us there. Way back, probably like 2, 3 a.m. I'll drive us home.
It's lit.
And it's so fun. And we have our way of doing it, and people think we're crazy and think we're like just crazy teenagers who just do whatever, and that's exactly what we are.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's really fun, and we always have a good time. So no matter what, if we're just eating In-N-Out and dancing, or we're going up to Santa Barbara, we have a good time. And every single day, I know I had a good time doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'm in a whole different world than you guys.
Yeah.
And but like I've had health problems like starting since freshman year or like late freshman year, and I've basically just been like, I kind of have to like accommodate to my health, like make sure I sleep on time, eat right, and
For sure.
and like, and also like my parents care about my academics, and I think I like wanted to just get into a good college.
Yeah.
And like that's all I've been focused on like the past 4 years. And like what you were talking about like making memories or like going out and not regretting stuff, like the stuff that you were talking about, like I never would have thought of that. Like now I'm kind of considering, but like a year ago I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely crazy, and that's why I do regret sometimes doing too much and then my grades slip.
No, yeah, my mom's very serious about my grades as well. She's on my ass a lot. Like, that's the thing. People see what we've done, but they haven't seen the consequences of it. Me and my mom it's only us two in the house, right? My brother's moved out to college. And sometimes it's brutal in there. Like it is
Oh yeah,
Vietnam. I
go
in the
home,
trenches.
We
We
get
are
yelled
fighting. Yeah.
I get in fights
I've
all my
gotten
mom.
caught multiple times with multiple things I shouldn't have been caught with. I've been caught doing things I shouldn't have been doing with people I shouldn't be with. And it's those moments where you get humbled, you get up, and you move on. And sometimes I have been burned so bad I don't do it again. I haven't snuck out since the time I snuck out that
I don't
one night.
sneak out.
And
That's all you, twin.
yeah, that was the only time I did it. That's the only time I will. And I think that it's really fun to do all this stuff in high school, but for anyone who hasn't and wants to, it's so achievable in college.
You don't need to like try to like do all these things in high school.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. I like sometimes I dwell back and I get like a sinking feeling in my stomach. I'm like, I should have tried harder in school.
Totally, because you could be in totally different.
And it's not like I'm like a bad student. Like, okay, now I am. Like senior year, yeah, I am. But like all of high school, I maintained my A's and B's. But then like they started to slip a little bit, and then I'm like regretting. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, did I really need to get a C in algebra 2? No. Like I regret that. I should have gotten an A. Like I should have tried harder. I should have gone the office hours. But in the moment, I'm just like, let me go to LA.
Yeah.
Like, let me go hang out with Maggie.
And the thing is, like, the scheming for us didn't really start until late junior year.
Yeah, we didn't start scheming.
So we have a lot of stories that have like come since then. But like, my freshman and sophomore year, I was pretty locked in on school.
Yeah, we were locked in, and I was really focused on golf. That was my
totally
sport.
The golf thing.
Yeah, I would spend. And that's partially why senior year.
An athlete.
Yeah, when I was an athlete, partially why I've been so schemeful senior year is because all throughout high school I was playing golf 20 hours a week during the school week, and then summer 40 hours, so I had no life. Every single time someone asked me to hang out, can you hang out, Lauren? No, I'm golfing. Can you hang out? Sorry, I have a tournament. I'd practice every single
totally like
day.
that.
Every single day. Weekends, I'd play 8 hours a day. It was brutal, and I thought it was like my life journey and my passion, and so I turned down so many things. Like my grades were not as good as they could be because I was golfing so much every day. I had my mental coach, my trainer, my swing coach, and my school coach. It was intense. I was doing tournaments. And so when I quit, because I realized I wasn't good enough to go D1, so I would have gone D3. I don't want to go D3. I want to do club golf. So I'm going to do club golf at my college, and it's going to be so much fun. And I have plenty of time to scheme.
Yeah.
So
that's the same
it's
thing
kind of
for
freeing.
me.
It's kind of like built up. So that's why I'm kind of like more crazy now, because all of high school, my parents like didn't let me go out. Like since I had like a sport that I was supposed to be doing, Saturday nights, you can't go out. Friday nights, you got to be home by 8. Like Maggie remembers, like I was just
there's a long period of time
lockdown.
where it was just pretty
silent.
Yeah. And for most of my junior year, all I would do is just hang on my ex. So it was like
so it kind of worked out. It kind of worked out.
Yeah.
And then I quit golf in January, partially because I started getting really bad back injuries and I had to go to physical therapy for it, and they're like, you can't golf anymore kind of thing, or else you're gonna have like bad back issues for the rest of your life. So I can golf if I want to, I just can't do it at the level I was. It's so stupid. It's golf. Like I'm not even like doing like basketball or something.
But it's like,
but it's silly. It is silly, but now I have a lot more time to do whatever I want. Yeah.
Okay, my last question is gonna be, unless you guys want me to ask more questions.
Give us the final question.
Final question.
Yeah.
Final question is, what are you guys gonna do over the summer, and how do you feel about it?
I'm gonna get wild.
Okay. When do you leave for college?
I leave August. I'm probably gonna leave around August 22nd.
And then I leave September 19th.
Yeah.
So I have 4 months of summer, and Maggie has 3.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be working. I actually have a job, guys.
I'm unemployed.
So yeah, I'll be working because this lifestyle ain't free.
No,
And
Maggie's lifestyle costs $1.
But I actually scheduled the way the years prior. I've been working at this place for 3 years now, and basically, what I used to do was work a full week. It was like summer camp stuff, and I'd work a full week. I get so burnt out. I'd only be able to do like 4 weeks in the summer, which I'd get pretty good money with. But this time, I'm working like basically every week, but I schedule it so I'd have like days off in the middle of the week. I work
It's
like
a
2
great
days, then
idea.
be off. Yeah. So now I'm just going to fill all the days off with just like, let's make this summer the funnest summer ever.
Yeah, Maggie's new catchphrase is "You're invited." What is it?
The summer of a lifetime.
You're invited.
You're
to the
invited, right? You're invited to the summer of a lifetime. Because
which
literally, I'll hang out with anybody, anywhere, doing anything, as long as they want to have fun.
Yeah,
We can do whatever.
we can do anything.
We could do
We're so-
handstands. We could go to the trampoline park.
Oh, let's do that.
I'll be going to the fair with multiple people.
Yeah,
That's always fun.
yeah. So I don't know. For me, I want to be a waitress, but I might end up being a hostess. I definitely am going to work this summer. I haven't worked in a while. I've been unemployed for quite a minute. I got fired from my last job for being too young. Why'd you hire me?
Yeah,
like,
for real.
they fired me. Sorry, Lauren, like, you're too young. Why did you hire me to begin with? So anyway, so I'm definitely doing that. Maggie and I are both traveling a bunch this summer. We're just sort of going to try to enjoy our time together. I think that's the plan
For
before we
real.
go off to college. And I never see her again.
I'm gone.
Yeah, she's gone.
The Bronx mist.
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, especially since I'm leaving so late and I'm on quarter system, so I don't leave until September 19th. Kind of crazy. Because we get out basically May. So it's going to be kind of lonely because everybody will be at college and I'll start to see on Instagram, like, them all hanging out, starting their new life while I'm sort of behind. But honestly, like, I'm always fine with being one step behind. Like, I'm okay with that because I know my time will come. So, I don't know. It should be fun. What's your biggest trip you've planned?
Well, over the summer, I technically have, like, I'm going to, like, stay with she's technically
In
my older
Chicago?
sister. Yeah, in Chicago. I'll be with her. And then I'm going to Philadelphia again. My brother, he teaches in Philadelphia. But what I'm excited for is the Australian summer. Me and my older
That's
brother,
not in summer,
Lukey.
though.
That's in January. The Australian summer.
Yeah, because for those of you who are stupid,
Huh?
during the winter here, it's summer there.
Yeah, but
So if you go to Australia in January, it's summer.
yeah. And my older brother, Luke, he goes to Princeton. He's on the rowing team. He has this rowing buddy, Joe, who's from Australia. And they're taking me to the Outback. They're taking me to the Outback
Oh, you're gonna have a blast.
for 2 weeks. I'm very, very excited. But I don't have anything really big other than I'm making money. I want to be home as much as possible for everyone else who's going to be home. So I can, bother people and actually be available. But
I keep planning like little weekend trips and stuff, but I want to be home. San Diego's beautiful.
Yeah.
So my biggest trip I have planned is from Atlanta, Georgia to
hey, Charlotte.
I'm going from Atlanta to Canada. And I'm driving a rental car. I'm driving. Not like my mom's driving. I'm driving.
But by yourself?
With my mom and my little sister, I'm designated driver. I'm doing 8 hours a day, driving for a week. It should be really fun because I told my mom I want to go to the South. And she said, okay, let's make that happen. So we're going everywhere. We're going to end up in upstate New York. We're going to go to Canada, peak in Canada, then come down to upstate New York because I love New York, and stay at a lake house for a week. So that should be really fun.
It'll be really beautiful.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm going to Hawaii for a week. That should be really fun. Going to a new island I've never been. Going to Honolulu. So I'm excited.
That's going to be fun.
It's really fun. Yeah, a lot of fun things on the horizon.
Yeah.
A lot of fun nights.
Maybe I'll force my dad. Me and my dad are notorious for having horrible trips
Yeah, you guys
together.
always have a bad trip.
Yeah, it's a joke, but yeah, maybe I'll force him to take me somewhere. Our
Yeah,
trip to
you'll-
Monterey failed.
You'll probably drive home early.
Yeah, that actually happened twice now. I've driven home early or flown home early because my dad just can't do it anymore.
Like emotionally or like 'cause
No,
you're bored?
he's just like so.
It doesn't work.
He has enough money to end the trip early, which is the funny part.
Because most people, they just ride out the trip because they spent so much money.
No, my dad will refund
just-
everything and send me home. And it's not because my dad is, I think, actually genuinely has autism. And I'm not saying that in an evil way. I'm saying that in
No, a lot of
he
people have
doesn't
autism.
understand the cues or whatever. I love my dad, but you have to hang out with him in a very certain way.
Your
Because
dad's great.
he's much more introverted than I am. He wants to be alone. And he was in the military for 30 years. I give him that.
Yeah,
he was deployed in Afghanistan. He needs some peace.
Yeah, when you went on that one trip with your dad and you guys got separate hotel rooms.
Yeah, he does that every single trip. We get separate hotel rooms.
Crazy.
It's very nice for me, though, because that means I can go wherever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're mobile.
Yeah, I'm very mobile.
Do you like order stuff up to your hotel room?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm out. I'm out. I remember when we were in Seattle.
You're so
I went for like
annoying.
a long ass walk, for like 3 hours. My dad didn't even know. I went and got myself
Even
dinner.
care.
That's the thing is like that's the power of also loving spending time with yourself. Like bro, you can do whatever.
Yeah, that's like I would be like, oh, I wish Maggie was here, and you would just be like living it up alone.
Yeah, and if you carry a knife on you, bro, it even unlocks more opportunities because you're not afraid anymore.
Yeah, knife in one hand, pepper spray in the other. You know how we roll.
I know. My mom found the pepper spray in my purse and she put it on the table like it was something crazy. She was like, Maggie, what is this? I was like, what are you talking about?
That's just my.
She thought it was like I was doing like paint thinners or something.
No, shout out Lizzie for giving us pepper spray.
Yeah, I love you, girl.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Thank you guys for
Thank you
coming
so
on
much
for having us on
We're
the
very,
podcast.
we're very, what's it called?
We're very
grateful.
Yeah, we're very appreciative.
It was a good time.
We
Yeah.
love to talk.
I know. Meet
All
us
right.
at the parties. We'll talk even when we'll make a new podcast.
Yeah, we could talk anytime, anywhere. Yeah, I canceled what I had going on to talk more.
Yeah, because I was like, it's too lit.
Yep.
It's
Great.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Peace, everyone.